All right, what's up, folks? We're live. Welcome to another episode of Monday Night Live on 10 Horse Monty YouTube channel. And how's everybody doing out there, man? It's good to see some people loading up on here. We got some new faces in here.
Feels like it's been a while.
It's been a while, man. I missed last week. I was just wore out, man. I fished for like 4 days in a row, came home. I had to catch up on things and do the family thing and just kind of get grounded. So missed you guys
You
last
got grounded
week.
last week?
Well, no, I didn't get grounded. I got grounded.
Okay.
I had to
fair
grind.
enough.
I had to come back
Fair
to
enough.
earth, man. You know how it is when you're gone for like 4 days fishing. And stuff.
I'm excited. So
Like reality check.
I took off Thursday this week and Monday next week.
Okay.
So
yeah, it's about to go. It's about to go down.
Yeah, it's going to be a 5-day bender.
It's about to
except
go down.
for I may get in trouble for going on Sunday, but
yeah,
got a little holiday coming up.
So on the other end, obviously, got Brian the Carpenter, BTC. What's going on, man? How are you, dude?
I'm good, man. Good. Thanks for having me on tonight, guys.
Yeah, I see you got some interesting stuff there in the background. Is that a Colorado license plate?
It is, yeah. Yep. I lived out there for a little bit. Here's some metal I got this past weekend.
Nice. Is that what you call like 4 for 37 pounds or something?
No, this is when I took a vet out on Saturday, and we caught one for about 10 inches and a bunch of miscellaneous crappie and perch.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it was a cool event. But yeah, I lived in Colorado for a little bit back a long time ago.
Yeah, right on. What part of Colorado did you live in?
Littleton.
Littleton. Okay. I don't know where that's at. We vacation in like the Estes Park, Loveland, Colorado, like an hour north of Denver, right there in that side of the mountains. So I'm familiar with that area, but
yeah, Littleton's a suburb of Denver.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's where Columbine happened.
Not good, not cool.
Nope.
So you
Did you grow up in Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I grew up in Jersey. Yep. I just ended up out in senior year. After my junior year of high school, I ended up in Nevada for a bit, and then with my dad, and then he moved to Littleton halfway through. So split my senior year of high school between those two.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of bass fishing either place.
So what about the bass fishing up in Jersey? I mean, is it? I keep every time I hear you guys talking about it, you talk about how tough it is up there. Is that true?
It's fucking horrible, man.
Yeah. A lot of pressure, just not a lot of fish, or both.
Yeah, whatever you might have saw the other day wasn't in Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were putting on. You had some toads, man. I was wondering where it was at.
Yeah, that was. We had 4 for 22.6.
Solid.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So that's not in Jersey then, huh?
Nah, it's next state over.
Okay, fair enough.
All eating a big glide bait. I'm hoping to get my shit done early and get out there tomorrow. Go catch up with the guys with. He makes the gliders and he's got that place dialed in. So pretty freaking awesome, man. This is the time of year when they eat and big girls show up.
So what kind of talk about glide baits, man? Because that's something that I'm really a total rookie to glide baits. I got a couple of them, but I haven't kept them in my hand long enough to make it work for me. Is that how'd you get into that?
You're in Missouri?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, a lot of gliders are coming out of there, right?
The other side.
The other side.
Yeah, we're on the east side, but like on the southwest side, you got Table Rock, Lake of the Ozarks. We're about 5 hours away from that. We're closer to Illinois. Like we do a lot of fishing over in Illinois, a lot of smaller lakes and stuff. But yeah, I need to throw those suckers a little more. You said is it custom made glide bait or what?
Yeah. He makes his own gliders, Black Talon. But yeah, KGB Baits is out of, like you said, the other side of the state. Actually, my grandfather lived on Table Rock. So I was back in the early 80s. I was on Table Rock for a little bit.
Okay.
But that's a 10-inch bait that he makes.
That's sexy, man. I like that.
Yeah, it's the donk.
Now, have you caught fish on that particular model?
This one, no. This is what he calls a fat donk, and then this is his regular donk. See,
Okay.
It's in the thickness of the baits. And the reason he made the fat one, that lake's got a lot of deep water, and you know, you can catch a fish up in the grass, which we mostly did, you know, 2 weeks ago. But they also get on these bluff banks, on the laydowns on the bluff banks, like Table Rock would have.
Mm-hmm.
And the thought process behind the thicker bait is just, you know, when they're, don't mind that thing there, to get rid of that. When they're looking up at it, they've got a wider profile to look at than the thin one, you know, when you're trying to draw them up. And it's pretty wild, man. We'll be in 30 foot of water, and this bait's within a foot of the surface, and they'll come up for
Yeah, it's awesome.
Giants, dude.
So when you're throwing on that grass and the grass on that lake, are you concentrating on edges, or is it below the grass? Or is it, you fishing above the grass that's
Yeah,
not
I mean,
submerged yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's April now, so April up here in the Northeast. So there is still some grass there, but it ain't all the way up, you know what I mean? Emergent. But yeah, over top of the clumps and along, you know, when the grass gets up along the edges, parallel on the edge of the grass.
So what's the ideal day to throw that thing?
Say it again?
What's the ideal day or conditions to throw that thing?
Dude, I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty new at this, man. I just started throwing the big gliders like a year and a half ago. So still trying to figure, dude, it's like anything else, right? Like, it's not an exact science. You know, you think it's fishing, man. You think you got it dialed, and it'll always find some way to fuck you up. But
that's why we keep going back, man. It's
yeah,
like a never-ending puzzle.
You know, tomorrow's 4 days before the full moon, and according to my guy, that's the best day. You know, but that's one factor, right? Are you on a warming trend or a cooling trend? You know, what time of year is it? It's water temp, like just so many things, you know. Again, this lake's got a lot of deep water, and them big girls, you don't see them all year long except for early, you know, early and a little bit late. But summertime, man, you never see the big ones. You know, tournaments in the summertime, 5-6 pounders of lunker all year long. And then in the spring, you see the 7s, 8s, and bigger, you know, double digit even. And that's a big fish for the Northeast, you know.
That's a big fish for anything above the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
But
yeah, for a non-strain, that's
for up there, that's a giant.
And they're there. But they get off, man. They get off the bank. They get out in the deep water. I think they suspend, you know, maybe kind of run with the schools of hybrids or striper or something, but you don't see them. Nobody
Gotcha. Now, I don't want you to tell me the lake, but is that a horsepower restricted lake?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many lakes up there around you guys are not horsepower restricted?
Are not horsepower restricted?
Yeah. Do you have more that are there than that are not?
So in Jersey, it's there's a handful that aren't, you know, that you're allowed to run a gas motor. The lake that I fished Saturday has a 9.9 max.
Okay.
The lake that I fished, you know, with the big fish, that's a 20 horse max.
Okay.
So, you know, that's so it gets kind of tough, man. You know, the guys that live near the lake, they got a rig for that lake, you know, but
I mean, we're the same way. I mean, we fish the majority of our lakes that are within an hour are 10 horsepower, 9.9 lakes. So we're fishing out of 10 boats, 16 foot, you know, with Tahatsus on there that are 9.9s.
9.8.
Do what?
9.8.
No, there's not a 9.8 that runs on any of these lakes hardly.
Say that again.
There's not a 9.8 that runs.
They're 9 nights with a little bit of extra.
They got a little juice.
Yeah.
On them.
You got a nice.
That's an old school model.
Yeah. What year is that?
I don't know.
Has that got a 18 carb on it?
No clue. I haven't. I bought that off of somebody posted that on Facebook, and I scored that thing for like $200.
Really?
Dang, sweet.
Yeah,
deal.
but it's still sitting there because I've been running the Torpedo, the 5-horse Torpedo for a while now, and that does me real good. So
I know a guy, anybody that's on here that's looking for a 9.9. It's a Yamaha 9.9 4-stroke. It's got less than 20 hours on it, and the guy wants like $1,900. So a pretty solid deal. If anybody out there is looking for like a motor, get a hold of me, man. Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook.
Where's he out of?
St. Louis area. Yup. But less than 20 hours. I think his grandpa or his dad gave it to him, or somebody gave it to him. I'm not quite sure, but it's just been like basically they used it as a kicker type deal to just idle around with a bigger boat.
Oh,
sounds
man.
like.
I don't know if you've seen the new to Hawgz. They are bad to the bone.
I'm not giving away a John boat tonight. Sorry, Phil. We're a super small show. Maybe someday. Thanks, Darius.
No, these little Tahatsus that we got they're chippable up to 20.
Really?
And so a lot of guys are doing that. Not saying that we are, but a lot of guys do. And they're running 25 plus.
Right.
Which fishing these horsepower restricted lakes, I mean, that's every mile an hour counts, just like it does when you're out there fishing on the Elite Series and you're trying to get the spot a mile an hour faster on a 70-mile run.
Yep.
So,
yep. Just like I got the advantage on the electric only lakes with that thing.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to run 210-pound thrust trolling motors in the back. You just run that. How fast can you go in that?
Almost 7.
That's impressive, man. That's impressive.
Yeah. And the boat's a tank too. Like this boat's heavy for, it wasn't built for speed. It was built for comfort. I could have done it different and got a lot better performance out of that, but we'll go through.
You get that motor on plane in a boat?
Nah, I wouldn't think that one. That's the Torpedo Cruise 2.0. It's about 5 horse. I wouldn't think you get a boat on pad with it, but maybe the next model up that's a 10 horse.
Okay.
Yeah. Jesus, look at this. Keegan said he was actually at Egypt yesterday. Egypt's like an hour away, about an hour and 15 away from us. Said he had 22-1 for 4 fish.
That's
nuts.
That's solid.
It's crazy. So Egypt's one of those lakes that it's got docks and landowners around it, and they killed the grass off several years ago. It goes in cycles, but the grass has been kind of gone. It's starting to come back. Like 2 years ago, you started to see some of it, and the last year you actually had good grass mats and stuff. And there for a while, man, it was hard to catch like a 4.5, 5-pound fish. But this year, all of a sudden, these like 5-pound fish start showing up. It just kind of shows you that either they're under the docks and you can't really get to them because they have this weird rule where you can't fish within 10 feet of the dock.
Really?
So, yeah, it sucks, man. You can sit there and look at it, but you can't fish it. And so they got a sanctuary, right? But I think some of this grass is pulling those fish out from underneath the docks, and they're becoming more accessible because they're holding in the grass. Because all of a sudden there's like 5 and 6-pound fish showing up.
22-1 on 4?
Yeah.
Dude.
It's solid.
There about had to be a 7 in that bag.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's a whale of a bag. So that you can't fish the docks?
It's I don't know if you can get a ticket for it. I think you can actually get a ticket because the homeowners have paid to have like lake patrol out there.
Yeah, they get a little guy that rides around his boat, and that guy.
It's like worse than Rent-A-Cop on the college.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's got the little penis, that guy.
Could be.
Hey, fuck that guy.
But I just move on,
I've been ran off a couple times from areas that I was crossing the line, I guess.
And that's in Missouri?
That's in Illinois.
Yeah. There's a couple landowners that just sit and watch. Probably retired. It's all they got going on. They just sit there and wait for you to skip a jig around their dock, and they'll come out and hammer on you. But I don't know. you kind of know who those people are after a while.
Yeah, I can't deal with it anymore. I mean, as kids, that's how we made our living, you know, fishing. If you ain't trespassing, you ain't trying, you know what I mean?
I got shot a couple times of rock salt, man.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to jump a fence and fish in this old quarry, abandoned rock quarry.
Hell yeah.
And there's only like one way to get in, so it's all steep everywhere, right? And there's this little downgrade where they actually had an old John boat that I don't know if the quarry left it there or whatever, but basically there was this little 20-foot access point, only one way in, one way out.
Oh.
And, you know, yeah, and we got pinned in there a couple times by the guy that owned the property.
Was this over here in Jackson?
Yeah, it's out.
I know exactly what you're talking
61.
about.
Yeah. We got shot. We were jumping the fence and we got shot at one time. Like we were hauling ass out of there.
Any scenario in life, or where I would be shooting at somebody at kids for fishing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you really gotta have a gut check life moment at that point.
Yeah, like I'm shooting at my fellow countrymen, at children for fishing. Like, I don't know, man. Whatever. Anyhow.
Well, I mean, if you're getting run off for fishing, just for not doing anything but fishing, and typically most fishermen are stewards of the outdoors. I mean, they're not tearing up stuff. They're not,
for the most part.
There's always a couple bad apples in there that, you know, leave their beer cans laying around or whatever. But
sure,
for the most part, we're just out there trying to get our fix on. And
I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it's catch-22 or what, but like, you know, you want fishing to be popular. You want to grow the sport. Same time, you never pull up to a full boat ramp and you're happy about it, or you know, full parking lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Same time, you never want to see anybody else out there. So it is kind of that thing. But I mean, I don't know about shooting at them.
That's how it is around here in the winter. I fish all winter long, and everybody's hunting. And so a lot of times I go to the lake and there's like 2 people on there. You know, one guy's crappie fishing, one guy's bass fishing. And then all of a sudden the weather starts warming up and everybody starts coming out of the woodwork. And that first day where you go and there's like 40 or 50 boats on the lake, you're like, man, I want my piece back, you know, but you just got to blend in with it. It is what it is.
Dude, the fall is my favorite time because all the hunters are up in trees. Not on the lake.
I'm with you, man. I'm the same way. And that grass bite gets really good too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think we got a
drinking tonight.
What's that?
What are you guys drinking?
I'm drinking Busch Light tonight.
I got it's a Voodoo Ranger, like made out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Little IPA. Yep.
Right on.
And a water.
Gotta have it.
Gotta stay hydrated.
I just want to know where you got that 10 cup hoodie at. That's
this?
The one on.
I know somebody. You know what I mean?
You know a guy.
Nice.
Hey, we got a guy looking for a boat up in your area, it looks like.
Brian Waterman. He says, I'm looking for a 14 to 16 foot John boat, BTC from New Jersey.
He's from Jersey?
I guess he is. You from Jersey, Waterman? You up in that area? The boat price is out of control up there too?
Yeah, I know they were.
Yeah.
I know they were. I got an aluminum. Tell them to hit me up. Come and get it.
There you go.
It's you ain't gonna get a title for it, so you got to be, you know, I guess, you know, is that a problem for you guys getting titles for these little boats?
No, Missouri, we have to have everything titled. We got to have motor titled, boat titled, trailer titled. But like Tennessee, which is real close to us, they don't have any trailer title. I don't think
Kentucky doesn't either.
Yeah, so it just depends on the state, but we have to have everything titled around here.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're supposed to too. It's just like, you know, with the little boats, sometimes, you know, it's you end up with them that you don't have a title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Try to get one from DMV it's a pain in the ass, man.
Yeah. The trailers are the worst around here. Mm-hmm. Like there's somebody either stole a trailer or trying to knock the VIN number off of one to put it on another trailer.
Or a lot of guys will have just a boat, John boat that they just put on a farm pond. You know, and they just buy it from Academy, put it on the farm pond, and then they want to sell it. And if you want to throw it on a trailer, you gotta get a title for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. and then the state wants you to pay the back registration since the last time you got it registered in 85 or whatever.
Yeah, it's a joke, man. I just paid all our taxes, and my daughters had to pay tax. It's crazy because they got we got this kind of college investment type fund, and not trying to get too personal, but I was just shocked. I'm like, my 13-year-old daughter's got to pay taxes. Like, it wasn't much, but I was like, what? That just doesn't make sense, man. Just weird. This tax stuff's out of control.
Yeah, it is. So is this freaking dog.
Uh-oh. Is that a Weimaraner?
Buddy?
It is. That's gonna happen a couple more times tonight, guys.
I got attacked by a Chihuahua today.
Did you really?
Yeah, this guy on my route, he's got this little Chihuahua. He's a little sneaky sucker. Every time he's got his garage open, it wants to like shoot out and come after me. He had me pinned up for like 5 minutes the other day because you can't really do anything. You just have to stop, man. You just got to stop and wait for the owner to come out and get the dog. But
you can't punt him.
No, I don't. I can mace them and I can kick them, but I'd rather not do that.
Right.
So it's just like a Mexican standoff. You're just kind of standing there, you know, and just waiting. And today he came out. I walked past the house and here's this dog. So I set my bag down. I mean, the dog's like, you know, he's like 9 inches tall.
Right.
But he's one of those dogs that as soon as you Chihuahuas are bad about, like, if you turn around, start walking away, they'll come up behind you and they'll nip you in the leg. And that's what this dog was doing. He was trying to circle me. So I kept spinning around, keep my back down. He was coming in from the backside. He was right. And then the owner came out and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I'm just like, don't tell me he won't bite, that he's never bit anybody. Because they always say that. My dog's never bit anybody. And, whatever.
The mailman's going to be the first one.
So it was a Mexican standoff with the Chihuahua?
I think so. That's what I was calling it.
What would it be if it was a German Shepherd?
Just a standoff. I don't know.
Come on, I want to hear it. What is it?
I don't know. But maybe somebody knows. It's a poor attempt at a joke.
It would probably be a bigger situation with a German Shepherd.
Yeah, it would. I would
imagine
the dog across the street is definitely one I don't want it to get out. It's a big old pit bull, like bull mastiff looking dog.
Yeah,
it's one of those like brindle. What's the color where they're all
brindle,
and it's got these mean looking eyes. I mean, it's
grundle.
Yeah, and
he's probably the one that'll come over to you and just lick you to death.
He might
and want to hump your leg or something. The Chihuahua is going to tear you all to pieces.
Yeah, so. I don't trust those little dogs. So
hold on, be back.
Yeah, good.
Go ahead, man.
Get your refill. Hellabass says hydrate and be great.
Gosh, stay hydrated.
Here's a good question right here. What's up, Stephanie? Good to see you on here. But I asked this question here.
How many brands?
Yeah, that's true, Stephanie. I mean, people don't want, you're casting up on docks. If you get hung up and you break off your lure, you got treble hooks, a jig on the dock, you got kids swimming around the docks. It's a good chance that, last thing you want to do is get a treble hook in your 7-year-old kid's foot.
Whoa, Steph's siding with the.
She's with the dock owners.
She's with the dock Nazis.
She understands both sides of it.
Come on. Come on, Steph. Come on.
Here's the question from Brock. How many of Brian's secrets has Ike learned from him? Do tell.
Say that again.
How many of Brian's secrets has Ike learned from him? I don't know what that means exactly, but
me either.
How much have you taught Ike
about fishing?
Yeah,
about fishing.
Well, hold on. About life in general, because it sounds like there's something else that you've taught Ike that we need to hear about. Yeah,
I would say probably more of that. I mean, so, I don't know if we really covered this, but like I grew up with Mike. We met in like 6th grade. And we were like, I think there was 4 dudes that fished and we all kind of found each other, You ever get like if you're eating a bowl of cereal, get down to the last couple like Cocoa Puffs or oh God, what's the ones the round ones, the
honeycombs,
Cheerios?
Like you get down to the last couple.
I was gonna say Fruit Loops because that's what we are.
I was going Cap'n Crunch, man.
But they it's like they have their own gravity. They'll like find each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You could stick them 2 Cocoa Puffs on the opposite sides of the milk, and they'll somehow pair. That's how we were. It was like we were the only kids in school that fished, and somehow we found each other. Forget what the whole question was, but
that was it, man. You're going down that path right now.
So yeah, I taught Mike about cereal and life.
We were just two Cocoa Puffs in New Jersey wandering around. Good stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I've known him since then, and right out of high school, we started a bass club, and there was just 5 of us, and we, for whatever reason, Mike insisted that we like register the club with Bass or with the Bass Nation or whatever, and you needed 6 people to be an official club, and so we had to forge the 6th name. Some kid from school that didn't even fish. We just stole his identity, but yeah, that's kind of where it all started. Right out of high school, with the club, there was 5 of us, and we all were fishing out of Coleman Crawdads. That's it's a resin boat, about 11.5 foot. It's under 12 foot. And they come stock with like metal bars in them and the hard plastic seats front and back. We end up putting wood decks on the front and the back, building live wells, foot control motor on the front, and a little, a kicker on the back. And that was our rig. And that's, there was 5 of us that started the club, and we all had the Coleman Crawdads, and that's kind of how we got going. And, I think Mike learned a lot from that. Back then we didn't have the internet. We didn't have, the Bass University. It was, so like all there really was to learn how to fish was, Bassmaster Magazine and things like that, and Field and Stream or whatever. But what we did is we started the club to teach each other. A lot of clubs now, and I don't know if you guys have a big club scene in your area. I know there's, well, you probably do, because you got the small electric only lakes or restricted lakes. But it's kind of a big thing around here, the clubs. But for us, it wasn't so much about the, competition within the club in the beginning, because it became about that. But in the beginning, it was about, we all go out, we fish the same body of water on the same day, under the same conditions, and then we all come back and talk about it. And through that, you start learning a lot more and a lot quicker, like what worked, what didn't work, what was going on, what you know what I mean? So we communicated a lot early on, and that was, didn't realize it, but the whole reason for the club, I guess, was to make, turn Mike a professional. But yeah, that was kind of how we got going.
So in that club, did you guys actually weigh in the fish, or did you just kind of?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Gotcha.
Hold on a second. Still have my club jacket.
Top rod. Nice, man.
That is awesome.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's classic, dude.
Yep.
I used to have one of those too, a long time ago. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
We got a couple. There's several small clubs around here. Nothing big. Most of the clubs have, I don't know, I'd say the biggest one's probably that Kincaid over there.
Yeah.
Probably 20, 30 members, maybe, something like that. There's a lot of like 10 to 15 member clubs, just small stuff.
That's what we got a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. It gives, like, some people, that's the only chance that they get to actually go out and fish a tournament, is like a once a month tournament on a Sunday. It gives them an excuse to get out there and fish.
Yep. You guys, have you heard of Slay Nation?
No.
So it started, I would say, probably 4 years ago at the most. And it's I would say it's like a beginner kind of a deal. It's kayak, canoe, and john boat, all inclusive. If you're in a kayak or canoe, you can be like 2 guys, because in a boat you can have 2 of you. So there could be 2 of you in kayaks. You just kind of have to stay within distance of each other. And therefore it's catch, photo, release, or catch, picture, punt. You know what I mean? But it's.
Hey, I just said we were good stewards of the sport.
I know. Come on, I'm joking. I'm Jersey, buddy. Take it easy.
Here.
But the guys started. It's out of Connecticut. I guess they started the first one in Connecticut. They're probably in like 25 states by now. And they've even expanded into, a kayak exclusive division, a horsepower restricted. So I think there's a horsepower restricted division that they started up this year that goes up to 75. But it's cool because, so I learned about it. We had the guy, Frankie, the guy who started Slay Nation, Frankie Provolone. Awesome guy. You guys should have him on, actually. Tons of energy, man. He's just a really, really good dude. We had him on Ike Live show, and I just really liked what he had going on, because it's there's so many people that might get intimidated to come out and fish a tournament. You know what I mean? When everybody's, you're at the docks, everybody's keeping their secrets. It's, a kind of snobby situation for new people that might be tough. This isn't exactly like that for now. You know how it gets when competition starts heating up. But I fished it for the last 3 years now here in Jersey, and it's cool. There's a surprise you don't have it where you're at. Probably doing Illinois, I would think.
I would imagine that there's something like that around here, because there's a lot of the kayak events that are going out of some of the smaller lakes that we fish. I remember running down the lake a couple years ago. First time I saw that, came around, I was blaring down the lake, a whole 23, 24 mile an hour. And all of a sudden I see these like lights coming out of the boat ramp that we took out of. I'm like, what? That's a big tournament coming out. I mean, it was like 15 or 20 of them all like rounded the corner at the same time. It's like, who did a shotgun start out of that boat?
It was all kayaks.
Every one of them were kayaks, and every one of them were paddling their little hearts out, trying to get to their spot first. And there was like 3 guys in the front that had this was a couple years ago before pedal kayaks were really a thing, and guys just getting it out there, and then the guys in the back just stroking it out, and then there was like one poor sucker in the back just like stroke.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I had noticed or even saw I guess what you would call
like a kayak tournament.
A tournament that went out all together at the same lake. Now there's a bunch of guys around here that are fishing, I think those like month-long derbies.
Yeah.
Where they're, what is that, KBF or whatever, that
you're like your top 5 fish length for
the month. You got to have like 145 inches of bass for the month or whatever.
Yeah, online. They're not real derbs. They're online derb. I mean, it's a way to, it's a different thing. You know what I mean?
But this Slay Nation is legit 1-day events, 2-day events. Okay.
Yeah, it's tournament on the water. Yep.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, so I think I just saw that Jersey's Slay Nation Trail hit 60 members this year, which is probably up 2/3. I think they might have had 20 last year.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see what it looks like on the water, because when you're fishing 75, 100-acre lakes. But
do you guys have any kind of restrictions on your tournaments up there? Like
what?
Participants? Yeah.
No assholes?
No, not the asshole part. The number of boats that they can have on the.
I mean,
big guys.
Yeah, Slay Nation's about to find out, because they just grew a lot here in Jersey.
Right.
Don't have big bodies of water, so I don't know. That's a good question. Again, we're talking about most of them are 100 acre or less.
Oh, wow.
There's a number that are 500, 600, 700, but
even you get 30 boats on a 700-acre lake.
You're crowded.
It gets covered up fast. I can imagine, like a 100-acre lake. Jeez.
I mean, hell, our Wednesday nighters that have 30 boats in them on a 1,800-acre lake is like,
because everybody knows where to go. All the good spots are covered up.
He's laughing like, man, that would be a dream.
Yeah, shit. I mean, we fish all year long here, as long as the water's not hard. And we do the winter lakes here in South Jersey. Some of these lakes are like 75, 65, and there'll be 12 boats. And I mean, fishing fucking sucks, man.
Yeah.
The pressure down here, guys have gotten a little bit too ravenous, especially in South Jersey, and it's a whole thing. They're a little too hardcore, and these little ponds can't handle the stroke. But yeah, I mean, half of the good time is just the shit talking out there. You're kind of in a circle jerk.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
You can see everybody.
It's like a mega bass, one of those mega bass tournaments. Everybody's got their hole and they jump around. Keegan says he's going on a trip to New Jersey next weekend. Got any tips for what to throw and where to fish?
Yes, go somewhere else.
New Hampshire.
Where's he going? North or south?
I don't know, man. Leave it north or south, Keegan.
Yeah, it's give me some. Where's he gonna be?
What baits are your favorite in Colorado? Do you remember that long ago? That's been a while, right?
I caught trout, man. I caught trout when I was there.
That's all I fish for when I'm out there.
Yeah.
What river did you fish? South Platte?
I remember the South Platte.
Yeah, it's a little north of Denver.
Yep.
Big Thompson Canyon right there. That's the Big Thompson River, and then there's the Cache to Poudre Rivers up runs through Fort Collins. That's probably like an hour north of Denver. Then you go south and you got some like Colorado Springs area. You got some more stuff down there.
I think I remember Red Feather Lakes up.
Yeah.
Like Boulder area, maybe.
Yep. They got a big Buddhist monastery temple thing up there. Did you ever go see that? It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's like this whole community up there.
There was a Mormon temple I could see outside my bedroom window when I lived in Littleton, with the little golden Joseph Smith up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. You got a little bit of everything out there, I guess.
I got a little everything. Not a lot of bass, though.
Gummy's got a question there.
Noah Gummy. He got a question for BTC. I recently blanked my all weld aluminum boat at Rayburn. After I get it to float again, what is the best modification to make? So I guess
I would say,
how do you fix the boat, and then what's the first mods he needs to be?
I think the first modification that I would get is a better map, so you don't hit that spot again.
He did say Rayburn though.
Yeah,
Rayburn's like full of timber.
Yeah,
it's a tough one.
What's the best mod to make?
Yeah,
I guess it depends on what your layout is, and for us at least.
Yeah, well, what size boat?
Let's go with I don't know.
Let's go with a standard. What's your boat? 1448.
This is a PF16.
Okay.
Tracker PF16. You want to take a quick?
Yeah, let's take a look at it,
man. Yeah, walk us through it, man.
Yeah, I'll do that. And the dude going to Jersey, man. I want to know where he's going.
Okay.
Let me know if we got enough light here.
You're good.
All right, so that's us up there, 7 seconds behind. But Tracker PF16 on the back here. We've got the Atlas.
Is that a chicken? Hold on, is that a chicken?
So that's the first mod you should do. That's the first mod you should do there. You got to put.
Yes, that's the first mod. You need yourself a squeeze me chicken.
I'm gonna get one of those now.
That scares everybody out of your hole on those little lakes.
He's a crazy chicken guy. Milliken on the boat, and he called it the big fish cock.
Nice.
Yes. So anyhow, there's a Atlas jack plate back here, which is pretty crucial, honestly, for getting that torpedo.
Let me go full screen on you, man. Let me go full screen.
Oh, okay, I got you.
There we go, full screen.
That one.
This boat was, I think this is a 98, and actually the whole boat builds on the Ike Live YouTube channel. We took this thing, completely gutted it, ripped everything out. There were some holes in the boat, so I think episode 1 was like gutting the boat and had a welder welding the holes in the aluminum. From there, from there, we framed it up. It's all aluminum framing on this thing. And this was my, aside from the crawdads back in the early 90s, this was really my first boat build. My buddy Dave has done a bunch of them, Dave Hawgz, and he was really the technical expert with it. But so it's all aluminum in there. There's one piece of wood in the entire boat.
Nice.
That is this grounding block here, but there's right there, the ground bar. And these things, these TH Marine Hydras are freaking money for putting a lot of stuff on there. This really, if I could, upgrade to lithiums, that would help a lot. I've got 4 Group 29s right here in the middle of the boat.
Yeah, you got 220 pounds right there, probably.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight. A lot of weight there. Everything from there forward, from this part of the boat forward, this is all storage area. There's a ton of tackle in there, not very neatly assorted right now. There's the 4-bank charger for those 4 batteries, and 3 of them for the Fortrex, and then the other battery does the party, does the electronics, the lights. This thing here is absolutely money. That does the radio.
That's pimped out, dude. That's nice.
Yeah.
Nope. Was that the 19 Classic that you got this boat ready for?
Bilge and an oxygenator, and then I've got interior lights. The interior lights, are all the hatches, and even in the glove box, as well as live well. It's looking kind of dim. And then back here in this back hatch, which is, again, is a bit of a mess. Back hatch, there's the battery for the Torpedo. It's a 24-volt lithium thing, weighs about 30 pounds. Doesn't weigh much at all. Man, it smells like I got a catfish back there.
Dead possum.
Gonna need to let that air out. Yeah, we got hailed on Saturday. So framed the boat, ran the electric, plumbed the live well. The live well build was pretty awesome. This thing here is key. That allows you to pump in, or excuse me, to recirculate and pump out with that deal right there, using one pump. That'll pump in, pull that like that, and that pumps out and drains the live well. Additionally, there's a plug at the bottom that just lets it run down into the hull and then out as you leave. Got another pump here that pumps the water in. And there's an overflow over here, oxygenator over there, lights, cameras,
Excellent.
and a little cooler there.
The
Got added in.
There.
I don't know if my visuals are really hitting their mark here, guys. I apologize.
You're good.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
That sea deck, man, that looks like quite a project there.
Dude, that stuff is the bomb, man. Freaking awesome. It's actually filthy dirty right now from a long winter time of like partying in here. I've the TV, watch the fights, and spill beer and everything else on this thing. A little bit of soft scrub and a scrub brush. That stuff comes clean, man. And I mean, dude, it is so nice and padded. It's awesome. If you can see right there on the edge, it's like 3/8 of an inch thick. Stuff's great.
Now, this is the boat that you just finished right before the 19 Classic?
Yeah. Yep.
So this, I saw this boat in person at the Classic. I actually talked to you for like 30 minutes over boats there. But it was.
I remember you, dude. I've been looking at your face saying, man, this dude looks familiar.
He's got a really big head.
He got a big head. Yeah. We shared stories about John boats and the build that I had just completed on mine. Like we were finishing our builds about the same time. I got the 16-footer with that Tohatsu on it and running way too many Lowrance graphs. But I do recall like you had the Bass U is sponsored by Humminbird, right? Or Lowrance? Humminbird. And you had all the Lowrance set up on the boat, but you had the Humminbird graphs set on there because we were at the Bass U studio. And I just
represent, man.
I was laughing at that. Like the first thing I noticed, I'm like, those aren't the right graphs. He's like,
no, you're right. And I still have a Lowrance up there.
I know. I saw that.
And but I want a Humminbird 360 bad. It's something I've got to make happen like immediately.
Well, what surprised me there was you didn't have a Ultrex, and we had talked about all the shallow water fishing that you do up there in Jersey. That an Ultrex is pretty well pointless.
I mean, certainly for the local stuff, I think it is. I know some friends have it, and on a windy day, they're on the pond with their freaking Ultrex running. I'm like, dude, you just blew out the entire lake, sitting there in that one spot in 4 foot of water with your trolling motor, pretty much on high. So
right.
It's like, Dave, see that dirt line behind the boat? But
we go fish a mud line then.
Yeah, you got to make your own mud line.
Yeah, but the micro anchor is actually works pretty nice.
Do you have two of those or just one?
Just one for now. I might put another one on.
What weighs more per square foot, the carpet or the sea deck? I mean, carpet and pad or sea deck.
I would say carpet probably does because carpet gets wet and holds water.
Yeah, definitely.
This stuff doesn't.
I was going to say not necessarily just the water, but if you've ever redone a boat and you pulled up old carpet, how much sand and grit is truly in the bottom of your boat that even the best vacuum doesn't pull it all out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that gets nasty and locked down in there. And plus, like you said, you can go in there, you could have a party tonight, spill all kinds of beer all over it. Tomorrow morning, wash it all out. On your way to the lake, by the time you got to the lake, it's going to be dry.
Absolutely.
And you don't have a wet butt when you sit down and running across the lake.
No, nope. No, it's awesome stuff, man. It really is. And you can buy the shoot, I can't think of the name of it. But a lot of guys, you probably know what I'm talking about. A lot of guys will just buy off of Amazon, the
HydroTurf?
Yeah, HydroTurf,
yeah.
They say stuff's awesome. I haven't seen a lot of really good colors in it. Mostly it seems pretty corny, the patterns in it, but maybe there's some good looking HydroTurf. It probably is.
I think on your video, you guys kind of broke down how you sent all that off for the laser cut, right?
That's correct. So they sent me the way they did it. And this is actually marine mat. Pretty much all the same deal. It's just a different company. They sent us sheets of plastic, clear plastic, and we just laid it all out on the boat and marked with a marker, where everything was, where the creases are and how far up, and just templated out the entire boat and sent it off to them. All the cutouts. If you look, like everything, there's the hatch,
right?
Like this piece from here. I'm sorry if you can you see that? Like this bottom sheet, that's one piece. And then they ran this perimeter deal. This is 3 layers thick. So there's the red layer on the bottom, then the black, and then the gray on the top. And then when they route it, you see the lines with all 3 of them come through. So like this bottom piece was like one piece. And then this here, this flap from like here across, drop down there and then back to right here. that was a piece, and then this is a piece here. And not many people, like I had to kind of work them over to get them to do outside corner, because that, this piece just folds right over. If you look, you won't see, you don't see many situations where they do that. It's always just kind of like more like placemats and stepping stones.
Yeah.
But they went for it.
How is that outside corner held up?
I mean, it's just routed. So, this might be 3/8 stick. This is an 1/8.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's why you see the red. So they just routed that, and then the piece flops over. This piece here, that was, that's one sheet, and same deal there with the cutouts for the speakers.
Just keeps your edges cleaner.
Hell yeah.
It's that
flap there, and then this deal in there, and then forward. And then I have send just some material in red, and we ran it, cut that in to fit the gunnel all the way around the boat.
How many speakers you got in there?
4.
Nice.
Yeah, I like to party.
Yeah, I got a little surround.
Actually, at that classic, I think I had the boat at that classic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I had borrowed my buddy's sub and amp for that show. Didn't play it. Didn't really get to fire it up, but you could get a rattle trap to hop on the front deck.
That's a true fisherman knowing how to judge base that way.
Yeah. Keegan says he's going to be near Clayton. He was thinking about Union Lake. What do you think? Probably throw a wart.
Yeah. Bring a 6-pack. I was just on Union Saturday, bud. And that's where we racked up that 10-inch bass and the miscellaneous crappie and bluegill and stuff. It's tough down here.
Bring a 12-pack then.
Yeah, bring a 12-pack.
I would say bring a 12-pack. I might even throw a whiskey in there.
What's the water temps like right now in your neck of the woods?
High 40s, low 50s.
Okay, you're a little behind us, just a little bit.
Yeah,
we're seeing like kind of mid 50s.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're just
there's some lakes that are seeing mid 50s. I mean, we had fish hit the beds 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. Really? Like, because some of these lakes down here are so shallow, they heat up so quick, the fish right to the bank. Yeah. I mean, they get on it a lot faster than you'd think.
Yeah, but we've been. I'm sure you guys have been too, but we've been slammed with some just crazy cold fronts, like 80-degree days, and then snow the next day.
Yeah,
it's like what the hell?
I had I had hail on Saturday.
Yeah, when we have snow last week?
Thursday it snowed. I remember it dropped to like, it was what, 40 degrees. The wind was blowing like 20, and we had like the rain snow shower mix and then some sleet.
And it was it was literally 70 the day before.
The day before, yeah.
So. Yeah. So they don't make wet. It's crazy.
Stephanie wants to know what's some of your go-to baits in Jersey? What do you have the most confidence in for bass fishing?
Well, my favorite for fishing docks. She wants to know about dock baits.
Yeah. Make really long casts and look inconspicuous.
Some with a lot of treble hooks. Lots and lots of treble hooks for the children.
Anything that snags kids in the leg.
I can't get back from a rope.
Yeah. Bag of Mike and Ike's with a treble hook on it. In Jersey, favorite baits in Jersey?
Diving juice box. Shallow diving juice box. Yeah. All right. Let's focus. We're getting sideways.
Freaking, and I don't know. Senko catches them everywhere.
Yeah, that's Pete's favorite bait, right?
That's it, man. Dude, Pete caught his first glide fish this past week.
Really?
I got the picture.
That's awesome. We actually, there's a guy, I don't know if he's still on here, but Jun Soji out of Japan.
He makes some killer glide baits from over there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Dream Express Lures. Check him out sometime. Makes some really
Dream
good
Express.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had him on what, like
a couple months ago,
3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of good stuff in the works right now, but
he might be somebody you might write it down or go back and listen to this again. He might be somebody that would be really good for Bass U. He's got a lot of history over there. He's one of the guys that, like back in the 90s, I think, when the American guys used to go over to Japan to do stuff for like Daiwa, he was like an interpreter for them. So,
okay.
He's won a lot of big tournaments over there in Japan. Super cool guy. But he's one of those guys that's like his company. He's always tinkering with stuff, building baits, he's got some really cool scrounger heads. He's got some really cool spinner baits. He's got a little bit of everything. Big old like 11-inch glide baits. Got some 9-inch glide baits. Just a bunch of really cool stuff.
You said
June. It's June. Yeah, Jun.
Yep.
SHOJI. And it's a Dream Express Lures. Super good dude. Really good guy.
No, dude. Thanks for the. What's his Instagram?
It would be Dream Express Lures Official.
You kids in your Insta
IG.
All right.
Yeah, check him out. He's a cool dude, man. He'd be a really good guest. Got a lot of knowledge about.
Very cool, dude.
He's a guide on Lake Biwa. You know where that potential like the Thai world record largemouth came from over there.
Yep.
Good dude.
Yeah, Mike fished there when he was Big Mama.
Taku.
Nope.
No, not Taku. Big Mama. His picture's on the wall behind you, right?
Oh,
Takahiro.
Takahiro Mori.
Yeah.
No, God.
All right, we gotta check the feed, see if anybody's trying to help us out here.
No.
5-pounder.
Big Mama. Well, anyhow, one of the coolest people I've ever met. It's so cool. I can't remember his name, but hey,
names are overrated, man.
Lord.
Yeah, Marizo Sharizo.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Mike was over there to fish and do his show and fish Lake Biwa, and it was funny. You know, he just explained, you know, kind of the culture over there and how bass is an invasive species and kind of illegal, and you're really not supposed to catch them, and if you do, you're not supposed to talk about it because you're supposed to kill them or something. And it was just it, but it still goes on. You know, it's just kind of it's a weird deal. A don't ask, don't tell kind of a thing.
Right. I know June had mentioned a lot about that when he was on with us, because that was one of the questions that I had. It's like, you know, I know bass are invasive, and I know they have a bounty on them. Like, you're supposed to catch and kill. He said there's kill stations all across the lake, like where you're supposed to take your fish,
like garbage cans.
Yeah, to get rid of them, to dispose of them. But he said it's not police. There's nobody over there looking out for that stuff. It's all just here today, gone tomorrow. So.
Yeah, it's weird, man, when there's such a big industry behind it. But, well, anyhow. But, you know, everybody's out there fishing the lake the same way. You know, all the guys are out there just kind of drifting an eco rig and, you know, just pecking along and, you know, out there, big grass bed or whatever. And, you know, the lake gets a lot of pressure. I feel like Jersey's sort of like, you know, like Japan, and in that the fish just get, you know, peppered big time. And then he goes just like the opposite direction and like put on it was a pit boss or a devil spear or something with a 3/4 ounce weight and just started and caught like back-to-back 7-pounders. It's like a 7 and an 8 back-to-back with all that going on just because he was doing something different. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like those, I mean, that's like June throwing those giant 10, 12-inch glide baits over there. I mean, it's the same thing. And you're either throwing half-pound test line with some
little
mosquito hook on there that you should be out in Colorado fishing for trout with, or you go out there and throw a man's bait.
Yep.
And they're making a resurgence, right? I mean, like the swim bait craze hit a bunch of years ago. I feel like it's kind of coming back and doing another surge right now. You know, watching the Chickamauga event over the weekend, I think that's the most I've ever heard them talking about a glide bait on live, you know.
I think it's just how Carl says it. Everybody wants to be like an Aussie.
A glider.
Glider. But, you know, same thing, like, you know, 2 years ago, there was one guy throwing a glide bait in South Jersey, and now everybody's out there lobbing, you know. So this bite's almost over here.
Yeah, especially on a 7,500 acre lake. I mean,
yeah,
it's like going out there and throwing 12 boats get out there and 24 guys throwing A-rigs all day.
75 acre lake.
Yeah.
7,500.
Yeah, 75 acre lake.
Yeah.
Difference.
And everybody throwing A-rigs.
Yeah, every fish in the lake saw that bait that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
does that sea deck get hotter? You think it's hotter than carpet?
No.
Nope.
Nah, man. Nah, it stays cool as a cucumber.
Probably quiet too.
Yep. And they could do neat stuff like that, you know, that logo. Yeah. I mean, that's all, you know, individual pieces. Every one of them teeth is a piece, and that came on a sheet. You know, it's all routed out. Pretty rad. Cool stuff.
And it's so fast to install too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just buffed up the aluminum. We took a sanding wheel and just kind of scuffed it all up, hit it with alcohol, cleaned it up, and peel and stick. You peel the plastic off the back of the sea deck. It's got the 3M on there, and let her rip.
And you're ready to go. There's no waiting for the carpet to dry, and especially up there in Jersey, you're trying to do it like around here. I mean, same thing for us. We're trying to do these boats in the wintertime. Shit, you want to get it dry. Well, you may be 4, 5, 6 days a week. If you got carpet glue down there, you're not getting it to dry in a hurry around here.
Right. Yep. So. No, tough. And for the inside of the hatch, you see that's just some, you know, cheaper EVA foam that I bought off of Amazon. You can see that stuff there.
Okay.
But that's like real thin. That would never hold up on the deck of the boat.
Just more for noise dampening. And
yep. And it looks dope. And it's, you know, like you said, keeps the noise way down.
For sure.
Cushioning. Cheers.
Cheers.
So
cheers.
I've switched over to a Founders 4 Giants and the Haze of Destiny.
And the Haze of Destiny. Man. Just sounds cynical.
Where's Founders made? Is that a Jersey beer? Where?
Michigan.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's so much going on there. You can't know what the hell.
Yeah, it's
actually fantastic beer. It's an Imperial IPA, Imperial Haze.
Yeah, it's about 9% probably.
Probably.
How's the striper fishing? You do much striper fishing?
Yeah, it's freaking really good right now.
Yeah,
it's like on. Yeah, I got invited to go today, but couldn't do it. Got to work.
How you guys catching those? Like, what's the way you attack those fish? Is it casting, or are you like trolling, or what?
I mean, like I went out at the end of the year, like end of December, and was catching them around the bridges, and that was casting, you know, swim baits and stuff. But they were topping out at like 6, 7, 8 pounds. They weren't that big. One of my buddies is smoking them right now, and they're like,
other way. They're as big as the screen is what he's trying to say, folks.
Jeez.
Pretty big.
Yeah. June's on here.
Yeah, they're pretty big. So I gotta get up there.
Do you get big pike in Jersey?
What's that?
Chris wants to know, do you have big pike in Jersey? Northerns?
We got a lot of pickerel.
Pickerel?
Yeah, which is like the afterbirth of a pike.
Yeah, we got some of those around here.
Yeah,
it's the redheaded stepchild.
They're hard to
for all you
grab.
Redheaded,
they're like a jellyfish, man. They're hard to like get a hold of.
Yeah, good, dude. They're really good at like running a treble hook in your finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the little ones, the hammer handles.
I tell you what, you talk about stripers, the 2 to 3 pound yearling stripers are awful about that too. Like,
yes,
you catch one of those on anything that's got treble hooks on it, and you might as well just let it flop on the bottom of the boat for 5 minutes.
It's the little smallmouth too, man. Them 10 to 14 inches, they're brutal, man.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll get hands full of snapped off fins, and yeah, they're rough.
And God forbid you're in the summertime and you got flip flops on and you drop one on your toe, fin down.
That's right.
Like break a barb off in your toe.
Yeah, you get that infection that doesn't go away.
For sure.
For 3 weeks, still there. Kind of scrolling through some of these questions here.
It's time for a shot, guys.
What are we shooting?
I don't know. Am I the only one?
Yeah.
All right.
Tin cup looks like.
Tin cup rye.
I haven't had the rye. You said the rye is a little stouter?
Yeah, the rye's a little hotter. The they have the regular blue label, the green label rye, and then the 10-year, the black label is really freaking good.
I bet.
You know this Mike Long guy?
Mike Long?
Yeah.
Mike Oxlong?
I don't know. Mike Long, he's kind of busting your balls here.
What's he got?
He says he hasn't learned a damn thing from watching Bash U. He's had it for 2 months.
I like it.
He's not the like California guy that snags the fish. Different Mike Long, I think. I hope not.
So you said you do know Mike?
Do I know Mike? Nah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nah, but I like that. That's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. It's a good joke. I think if you're watching Bash U, you're learning something, man. That's one of the best out there.
Well, if you've had it for 2 months, I mean, you went past your free month.
Yeah.
And you got it on your credit card now. So if you don't like it, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or you don't forget about it and keep paying the money, and everybody's happy.
And I now that you brought it to light, I gotta fucking plug it, because
go for it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, with all due respect to everything else that's out there, I don't think that there is or ever will be a resource, a single resource with more bass fish catching knowledge than the Bass University. You know, there's a lot of good stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of things you can learn, for sure. Bass U, you know, it's all there. It's all in their library, categorized, searchable, easily navigatable, and it's all by tournament vetted, proven, you know, professionals. The best in the industry. You know what I mean? Me and you could go fishing. We're going to learn stuff off of each other. There's something you do. There's something you do. Something I do. We're all going to learn off of each other. None of us fish on the water as many days as those dudes, or under the situations that they're in. Dude, they're just on another level. I know. I fish with them. I fish with a lot of them, and I fish with a lot of guys like you and myself, and I learned stuff off of the regular guys too, a lot. But there's another level, and there is no better resource. Every instructor for the Bass University is vetted. You know, to be a teacher, you got to go to school. You got to get your certification. You got to pass tests. That's what this is, right? I mean, it's vetted through competition. That's why they have the Olympics. That's why they have playoffs, you know, to crown a champion. These guys are the best. It's not deniable. And all that content is coming from them. It's the tits, man.
I'd agree with that 100%. I mean, it's like I do a project. You're a carpenter, right? So I'm doing something like a couple times a year. You know, I got a feel, I got a taste for it, but I don't have the same grasp as somebody that does it every day. The guys you have on there, that's their job, man. That's what they're doing. They're doing that stuff every day. it's their job to know the ins and outs of each technique, and they're the best of the best. So why not have the best of the best on the show?
Why not learn?
I agree, man.
Right. And we put them in a, you know, and I'll say another thing. Yeah, you know, I always kind of check myself with things. Like, just because you're the best doesn't necessarily make you the best teacher. You know what I mean? And I know from, you know, producing the Bass U podcast, Psych Live podcast, like some of these guys, all they want to do is be on the water. It's all they do is think fishing, you know. Doesn't necessarily mean, and there's guys on YouTube, and I have this conversation with Pete and them guys all the time. Like, we need to branch out a little bit because, and I'm kind of contradicting myself, but there's a reason for it, because the guys on YouTube are better communicators, you know what I mean? And a lot of times, but what Bass University does with these guys that are the more knowledgeable is they put them in a position to be the better teacher, you know? And I mean, and that's our job to do that. We put them in the situation. They're working off of PowerPoints, you know, whether they write them themselves or we work with them on them, but it lays it out. And, you know, it's one thing to have them on the live show that we do every Tuesday night. But the stuff that's on the Bass University, you know, in the library, that's a different deal. That's not what we're doing every Tuesday night. That stuff is, you know, there's, you know, that content is right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is, man.
And we, you know, they get paid for that stuff. Nobody else in fishing is paying them guys for that. None of the other, you know, resources are paying them, you know, for their content, whether it be Bassmaster, MLF, Wire to Fish. Nobody's pays them. We pay them.
Well, so I like what you said about some of the YouTube guys and how they are teachers out there. I mean, they're just not, like you said, you can be the best in the world at something, but be an absolute garbage teacher at it.
Yep.
Yeah. But you can learn from both. You don't have to be the best fisherman in the world to be able to teach somebody how to fish.
True.
Mean, no,
you're absolutely right. And there's a ton of good, you know, and people should start there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's stuff on YouTube a lot.
And I love what Bass U's done. When I had a desk job, man, I didn't get anything done when I had Bass U. Being on the road's a little bit more difficult to watch some of the stuff. I think you guys are on video or just audio form now, correct?
Yeah, we have that. Dude, we have an app now, and the app is amazing. Like, I don't know when you had it, but
like,
you know,
14, 15?
2014, 2015?
Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
I know, man.
Oh, my God. You got to check it out again. It's a free trial. Listen, I'm not good at this. Right?
How do they get the free trial?
How do we get the free trial? Come on, let's go.
Free. Excuse my French. Like, you sign up for free. Try it out for 30 days. Don't like it? Don't have it anymore. Oh, no, you can't give me nothing free. You know what I mean? Like,
I love it.
Oh, my God. Dude, it's amazing. People are just, yeah, dude, I'm not a salesman. I'm too blunt. You know, I'm a carpenter. It just, you know, it's just too obvious. And the industry discounts that you get with your Bass U subscription more than pay for the actual subscription.
There you go.
With, you know, discounts through, you know, whatever sponsors we're working with at those times. It's all there. It's a no-brainer. It really is. And like I said, take the free trial. Bass U 30. U Live 30.
Yeah.
30 days free. And there might be a, you know, promotion going on that's more than that. Or sign up, you know, for, you know, 1 month, 3 months, you know, a year. I think it's like $100 a year. But again, with the discounts you get and everything else, it's way more than pays for it, and the content's free. And
there's waste more than that on beer the next
want.
3 months. So go for it.
Yeah,
it's worth it. How'd you get involved with that anyway? Like, how'd that all go down?
Oh, I'm friends with Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've been doing, you know, I've been friends with Mike since we were kids, and, you know, about 8 years. I think it's 8 years now. 9, 8 or 9. You know, he said, "Hey, I want to do a podcast." I'm like, cool. I like podcasts. You know, I've been listening to Rogan's, you know, for a while at that point, and but I don't know a damn thing about computers, and I just know what I like to hear and see. So I don't know. He's like, well, here, let's do it, you know. And I was like, all right, screw it. And so I started producing the Ike Live podcast, and then, you know, from there we did that for, you know, we still do it, but, you know, 4 or 5 years into it, we started doing Bass Hughes podcast. So
that's awesome.
You guys get rowdy.
Who I'm friends with. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's not because I know what I'm doing.
So Pete's up in that same area. Is he? You guys all live really close to each other, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
GDP too.
Yeah. De Palma, Avena. Yeah, they're all real close. Ike, Pete, De Palma, Avena all live real close. South Jersey.
Gotcha.
Not too many pros from North Jersey. I don't know why.
Is that a shot?
Yeah, it was a shot.
Good. I like it.
I don't know if anybody's on here from there, so I won't go any further.
We got South Jersey Fisherman on here. I don't know what that's all about. He's been on for a while, though.
Yeah. What's up, dude? Who is it? Who that?
South Jersey. Incognito. You use live scope, active target. Thoughts on that?
Not yet.
Noah Gummy wants to know.
No, but I'm dying to have that. I want to get that on here too. I've kind of spent winter trying to figure out if I want the Humminbird 360 or active target. What I want. What I would. I think I just got to go get them both.
Dang, this dude's serious, man. He says he busts a cap and a fool who uses active target. Obviously, a live scope fan. You're gonna have to get another battery though, man. You have to get 5 batteries in there if you get live scope. Right?
Maybe.
Yeah. It sucks some juice. You might have it covered.
Look at this.
What?
Asians for active target.
What?
There's a guy's YouTube that says Asians for active target. That's his handle. Asians for active. That is awesome.
Hold on, I gotta write that shit down.
We're all over the place. We got a lot of new heads in Hitter Night. This is nice.
That dude's a genius. And I'm writing that down right now.
Asians for active target.
That's brilliant. Oh my God. Here's to that guy.
Yeah. Got to respect that.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got in here, man?
What else we got?
Let's see here.
What are you guys running?
We both just got Garmin live scope.
Yeah, but we're about 3 months in on it. Still trying to figure it out. Like a 10-inch graph. It's crazy.
Lowrance everything for both of us. Lowrance everything else. Standalone unit for forward facing. So
okay.
It was
forward facing.
What's that?
There.
What?
Say again.
Well, I mean, you're already there. Why didn't you just go with the Lowrance forward facing?
Because I'm old school and I have Gen 2 touch, not non-touch.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Or non-touch, excuse me. Gen 2 non-touch units. And it's cheaper to run. It was cheaper for me to buy a Garmin than it was active target.
It's about $1,000 cheaper because Lowrance doesn't offer like a 10-inch graph. You know, you'd have to go with a 9 or a 12, and then Garmin's got that 10 in the middle there.
Okay.
So that's basically why it was $1,000 cheaper.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
I mean, not that we don't already have way too much damn money wrapped up into our 16-foot aluminum John boats.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just in all reality. I mean, we're just as dumb as everybody else when you really think about it.
I mean, we fish out of it.
We use it. It's not like we're not using it, but it's still a lot of money that we've invested into a.
You guys got so you're a 20 horse max. So you have a 20 on your boat.
10 horse max.
It's 10 horse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have a 10 on our boat.
All right. So do you got steering column or
tiller?
Tiller. All right. Like a man.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see the sense in wasting all that chews up a lot of space in the boat.
I mean, I got 2 graphs in the back by the tiller, and I got 2 graphs up front. And try to figure out how to put 3 up front.
Keep going. I got to take a leak. I'll be right back.
You're
Sorry.
good.
All good. Yeah, you're right, Stephanie. You need to have a whatever you call that. Somebody's watching that stuff. It's all good as long as we don't get the thirst traps on here. The people that try to send to the adult sites. Every once in a while that happens. We've had to delete those off.
Going through the comments right now, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget, we do have the giveaway tonight. So those who know. Those who don't know.
I agree with that. Must be a good student first. It's hard to teach, and you learn this if you have kids. Anybody out there that's have kids, your kids ask you a question and you're like trying to explain that question. It's so hard to do. It's like, they ask you, daddy, mommy, how does a CD work? It's something you don't really articulate it. You know how it works.
You just put it in and it goes, right?
Same thing with being a good fisherman, a good teacher when you're talking about fishing is somebody can break down like a Carolina rig, or break down a certain technique. And some people can do it. Some people can. A lot of these fishermen, they just want to go fish. They don't really want to talk. They don't like the social media stuff, but they've had to adjust, man. They've had to put that in their game. It's just the way it is. You gotta be more rounded. It's hard. You can't really make it. I mean, unless you're just top 10 in all the time, you gotta do the social media thing.
Yeah, like why does the Senko work?
I don't know, man. It's the stupidest looking thing. I think it looks like a little shore minnow. That's my theory. It just looks like a little darter minnow, like one of those fathead minnows. Other than that, I don't know. I don't have a theory on it.
I don't know either. It's like technology in reverse or something. It's like you get a cell phone and then you text.
Yeah. Well, what about a Ned rig? Look at a Ned rig.
What's that?
Like a Ned rig.
A half a second.
Yeah, that's just the universe saying, you thought that was stupid. Here's the Ned rig. I'll show you.
Yeah, it's half as appealing as a Senko.
And it doesn't have any of the. It's just.
It's just a turd laying on the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, and then you get into the swim bait thing, and you got guys like analyzing stuff and dissecting it and talking shit on it, and
then you get beat by a guy that's throwing a turd.
Yeah.
I mean, how much detail do they really need? Do they need to see every fin and every scale on a bait, or do they need to see a piece of plastic laying on the bottom of the lake?
I mean, some things are made to catch fish, some fishermen, right?
I think most of them are made to catch fishermen, though, right? I mean, at the end of the day.
Pretty much.
Stephanie.
We all have short attention spans is what I'm
still hanging. Steph with the condo association.
Yeah, let me see here.
The dock owners.
She's saying something about the Asians for Active Target. I haven't really been following it. I think they're gone now. They get back on here, they're out of here.
Who?
The Asians for whatever it was.
Asians for Target, yes.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. It really is. Dude, so
out of here. They gone.
I was watching caught a little bit of the Elite Series on was it yesterday, Sunday. And Brock Mosley was skipping a chatterbait under docks. Have you seen that?
No. I remember Polinick was doing that a while back.
Yo, I mean, like docks that are like this off the water, like.
Oh, really?
The water's up, and with a freaking chatterbait, man.
Chatterbaits aren't that hard to skip with the right trailer.
What's the trailer?
Like a Zaco?
Yeah.
No, a chatterbait, not
a glide bait.
Not a glide bait, not a knockoff. A Z-Man chatterbait.
I know what chatterbait is.
Yeah.
we have those in Jersey.
That Arky style head, it isn't that super difficult to skip in the right conditions, but I would say a ball headed jig's a hell of a lot easier to skip than that, but it's not bad. Just got to get the right trailer on it, man.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive, man. It's just saying.
I don't usually my trailers on my chatterbaits don't have a lot of kicking. So that may be the deal there. If you got something that's got a lot of appendages or
leaving the skirt on,
I leave the skirt on.
And you could put it right under a dock that's like this far off.
Well, I don't fish a lot of docks, but I can skip the piss out of it.
Right on.
So
while talking on Bassmaster Live, just
I don't know about that. I've never had to talk on Bassmaster Live, so we may have to try that sometime. We'll go out in video and we'll
pretend. Yeah, you got to do that, man. I want to say it.
Yeah,
I want slow motion footage of that.
I'm gonna pick the biggest pontoon with the biggest chrome side. I'm gonna just dong. Don't you just love that sound on a quiet morning? You pull up, nobody's around. You make that skip under that dock, and it center punches that pontoon in the back.
Oh my God! On a
rings the whole cove.
Big float on it.
Oh, that's funny.
Every time you do that, another child cries.
We've been hacked. It's most of these comments are not Stephanie, so we understand. I know who you are, Stephanie. I know what you say, and I know you're not saying some of the stuff that's on here. I don't know how to get out of that, but
what's that? I'm not. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just some knucklehead. Some knucklehead.
What happened?
Making grief. He kind of hijacked her name for a minute. He was just saying some stuff that she normally wouldn't say. So she was just making sure that we knew that it wasn't her, which I do know that it's not her.
Hey, see, even Hellabass agrees with me.
Yeah.
So
I kicked them out. So hopefully that'll go away.
We're on chatterbaits. Let's
talking chatterbaits.
Yeah, Hellabass. Where'd it go? It keeps bouncing. Right there.
You kicked Hellabass out?
Yeah, we kicked.
No, Hellabass is legit.
Whose side is he on?
He said it's not that difficult either. I mean, okay. It's more difficult than a jig, and
for sure.
I'm not the greatest jig skipper, but
listen, you know what? I'm sorry, I wasn't impressed with it. So yeah, it's amazing.
it's the best.
but whose side is Hellabass on? The dock owners or the the freedom fighters?
I think he's with the freedom fighters. I think he's with the freedom fighters. Hoorah! Yep. Yeah, I mean, we got this potential dock skipping learning ground. We got this lake where we've got the stuff there.
Thousands
we just
of
can't
docks.
fish it. So. Anyway, what's going? You ever run into a Sasquatch or something up there in New Jersey? They have them running around the hills.
You know what? I haven't.
You got any stories though?
What's that?
You got any stories?
I do.
Yes,
I do.
You can be honest.
And I don't necessarily know that it's a Sasquatch story, but it's a true story because it happened. I lived it, and it's still a mystery. So, shoot, when was that? I'll guess 15 years ago. Probably about 15 years ago. One of the guys that we grew up with, Tom, left out of high school, went to the Coast Guard. So he was stationed up in Alaska and Homer, Alaska. And it was the end of his run up there. And he hit us up. He's like, yo, you guys got to get up here. So me and Mike flew up to Homer, Alaska, or we flew into Anchorage. And we spent a week up there, with Tom before his duty was done there. And one of the things we got in Alaska is freaking amazing. If anybody listening, you're an outdoorsman, you're an angler, you have to experience Alaska. You just have to. It's unlike anything else. It just really is. It's just another world. So one of the things we got to do when we were up there is we went and hiked up into the mountains and spent 3 days up there. And so it's me, Ike, and Tom, and Tom's in the Coast Guard, so he had access to everything, the frame packs and the tents and the mess kits and all that stuff that we obviously couldn't fly out there with. So we had the hookup, which was amazing. So we hike up into this one area in we were outside of Homer somewhere. The two lakes, if anybody ever wants to look it up, it was Carter Lake and Crescent Lake. And so we hike up this switchback and across this big field and or meadow, and it was brutal. We're way out of shape for it even that long ago. And set up camp on this edge around this crescent lake. And this crescent lake had all it had in it was Arctic grayling, which was amazing. So we got to catch Arctic grayling. So we set up camp there. The second night we were there, it was October. The second night we were there, the overcast cleared. And if you guys can imagine, we were in this valley, right? So, and it felt like we're surrounded by these peaks, but we're in this valley, and to the left of us and the right of us, depending how you're standing, right or left, there were these freaking peaks that just shot way up, right? Just went up. And then there was front and back of us, but they were, God, they might have been 20 miles that way or that way, where these felt like they were right there, but maybe that was a mile or a half. It's hard to tell distance, man. I'm not from out west, and things are big out there, you know. It's just, so it's kind of hard to judge, but you just had this feeling where you were surrounded by these, you know, these mountain peaks. And the second night, the overcast cleared out, and we had our campground set up, and we had just spent the day catching these giant rainbow trout, like I don't know, 26, 27, 28 inch rainbows, just giants, man. Dang. On spinners. And it's funny, dude, even up there, God, who knows, these fish can't get that much pressure. We still had to figure the bite out, you know. And it was like, you know, Panther Martins yo-yoed, you know, like that was the trigger, and they would just sky up. So it was freaking awesome catching these giant 5-pound, 6-pound rainbow on little ultralights. And you know, back where we had set up camp that night, and we're hanging out, and you know, we hiked in with a couple of flasks. Again, we had to keep it kind of tight, so you can't really bring beer in. But brought in some like Jack Daniels and some other stuff to get loose. And the craziest things were happening, like, because it was October, you got that giant harvest moon in October, and the overcast cleared out, and we're in Alaska. And I just remember we're out there, and all of a sudden this mountain peak, the one that was to our right, again, I'm looking at Crescent Lake, and there it is to the right. All of a sudden the peak of the mountain just lights up. And the freaking, I mean, the peak of the mountain just lit up bright. And we're like, oh shit. And we're watching it, and we're watching the mountain just light up as it's coming down. And all of a sudden, on the other side, here comes this moon rising up over that. Oh my God, it was freaking amazing. But somewhere in that time, I think it was after the moon had gotten up and gotten past that peak. It was after that moon had gotten up and already lit up the whole landscape, right? And we're under that lunar light, just still kind of blown away by what we watched. All of a sudden, like, we're standing over this lake, and the lake is just glass, you know. And the three of us, and we're all just like contemplating life, just kind of quiet, you know, just staring. And I'm in my own world, and I hear them two start carrying on. See that? I'm like, we've been fucking with each other all night, trying to, like, you know, whatever, just mess with each other. So I just blew it off the first couple times, and they're like, oh my God, I did see it. And I'm still like in my own world blowing it off. And they did it like a couple times, and I like kind of look over, and I freaking see it. And it's on the landscape going up the mountain. I see a light go and then out. I'm like, oh my God, I saw that. And then, like, it happened like 2 or 3 more times. And I don't know, was it a half mile? Was it a mile away? But this light just light, and it's out. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was absolutely, I mean, it was, what the frig was that, man? I mean, dude, there's nobody. We didn't see an airplane. We didn't hear a person. We didn't hear a car. Nobody for 3 days. This is like probably somewhat pre-cell phone. Yeah. I mean, nothing for 3 days. There's nobody out there. What the frig was that light? And like the trajectories really didn't make sense. Like for the moon to like reflect off an animal's eyes and come back at us. And I remember like doing the friggin' math. I'm like, nah, that don't work. You know, where things were set up. I don't know what the hell it was.
So did it light up the actual
surrounding
areas?
No, it was more like, it was like a lantern or like a you know,
orb of light,
kind of an orb type thing, or
yeah. And again, like I'm being real, I can't judge that distance. It feels like I could walk to it in a half an hour, but I'll bet you it was like a half a day,
yeah,
or like 3 hours to get to that mountainside spot. You know, because everything's so big out there.
So were you freaked out at this point, or were you?
Yeah, a little bit, but not in a bad way. It's not a pussy.
Not scared for your life.
Nah, I wasn't scared.
Like trees weren't crashing down, something wasn't coming after your ass.
Dude, there was bears out there, so I wasn't worried about that light. It's more worried because, dude, when you fly into the Anchorage airport, and it meant a lot more to me when we flew out after being out there and camping. And like, you know, when Tom's like, yeah, we're going to do something. I'm like, listen, dude, I just want one thing, dude. Like, just get me a gun, you know, like I just want a chance, you know what I mean? If shit's going to happen and it's my time, it's my time. But I just at least want to like have it like, all right, I got a chance. You know what I mean? Not
well, you want to go out like a man, not like a,
yeah. You don't have a slingshot.
Yeah, I don't take me out there with my hands tied behind my back. At least give me. So we all had like firearms, you know, and you felt good with that. And then when you fly out and you stand there in that Anchorage airport and you look up at that bear,
yeah,
that 9mm or that 45 was a spitball.
Yep, that's a
dude. That thing was like, I don't know. It was apparently that was like the world record.
Yeah.
Like 17 foot tall or something ridiculous.
So the chances of you seeing something 17 are not going to happen. But now 15, I mean,
maybe 12.
Hell, anything that's like 6 foot and above is gonna.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pee a little bit. I promise.
But it was cool, man. I mean and they saw it more than I did. You know, they saw it more times than I did. I saw the light 3 times. I bet you they saw it 5 or 6.
So did you stay another night after that?
Well, we were there, hiked in, spent one night, spent a day, spent another night, and hiked out.
Okay. So you weren't
second night.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Best we could figure was orcs on wolfback with lanterns.
What was it?
Orcs. Yeah, that's
on
exactly
what
it was.
Yeah, on wolfback with lantern.
Yeah, there's supposedly there's a secret tribe of those orcs out there that nobody's really had much contact with. I mean, they're out there. We got a winner.
By the way, yeah, we do have a winner.
Got a winner. Daniel T.
After all that.
Well, hold on. Wait, we didn't say. When do we say the number?
Right now. It's posted.
We say the number?
Yeah.
16.
There it is.
Yep. So when's the last time you wore that jersey actually on ice?
Oh, yeah, it's been a long time. Been a long time.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
Daniel, get a hold of me on Instagram, Facebook, social media, get you a prize pack out. He got that right off the bat, too.
He did.
Go down here and see if you got any more questions. Anybody out there got any more questions for BTC?
Say again?
I was asking all the folks at home if they have any questions for BTC.
Yeah, so while they're working on those hard-earned questions, last thing about Alaska. So that night when the like I said, the overcast had rolled out, dude, the sky that night. So the first night I slept in the tent, right? We had a tent. There was 3 of us in there. I had a really shitty spot. I had like roots in the wrong spot on my back, and I didn't sleep. Yeah. Tom was snoring, and I swear to God, dude, it woke me up out of my sleep. I thought it was a fucking bear. I had the pistol. in one hand. I was propped up, and then he snored again. I was like, oh my God, it's hit, you know. By then my heart's like, you know what I mean? It was like, you know, do or die, motherfucker. You know, I was fucking ready. So like I didn't sleep the first night. The second night I just slept next to the fire in my sleeping bag with all my clothes on because it got cold, dude. That overcast rolled out and the temperature dropped. Next morning there was, you know, ice about 2 feet out around the whole lake. But middle of the night I woke up, I'd take a leak or something and just like looked up at the sky. I swear to God, you couldn't throw a dart at the sky and not hit a star.
Wow.
You know, I lived in Nevada, I lived in Colorado, I've been in the Rockies, you know, the Ruby Mountains in Nevada. I've never seen anything like this before. You know what I mean? Like, it was insane, man. And just nonstop shooting stars, nonstop. Beautiful.
Do you let your mind go out there and look at those stars and just kind of how overwhelming it is? That stuff starts to freak me out if you think about it too much.
I don't, yeah. Fortunately, you know, I live on the East Coast and we don't have stars to freak us out. Because of Philadelphia and New York and DC. But I miss it, man. I got to get back out there.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list. Like, I definitely want to go to Alaska.
You got to go, man. I mean, like we had the luxury of like having somebody boots on the ground. You know what I mean? We didn't like, you know, have to go in on like a cruise or some shit like that and sit on the boat and like, oh, wave at the iceberg kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to go. I want to do what you did. I want to get out there, experience the real Alaska.
We got, you know, wading in the streams, the salmon running upstream that turn red, you know, and they get the big gonzo beaks on them.
God, you guys are catching like legitimate like 5, 6, 7 pound rainbows though.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
We cooked some up that night, brought a freaking, so like, dude, just the preparation to go camping was like therapy, you know, like me and Mike had a day where like Tom still had to, you know, had work to do. And so we just like went shop and we came back and we meal prepped, made scrambled eggs, put them in a Ziploc, you know, chopped up vegetables. We had olive oil. We had Jiffy Pop, man, for the fire.
Man, I haven't had Jiffy Pop in a long time. We used to roll out the Jiffy Pop when I was younger.
Fucking Jiffy Pop, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's the best.
Hell yeah. So, I mean, just setting up and getting ready to go. And then to see Ike with a pistol on his hip, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Well, I'm sure for a couple boys from Jersey going out there and seeing stars like that were just insane.
Yeah.
Like you said, you don't see stars out there with all the light pollution and all that. And you know, the closest thing that I've gone on to some great camping trips. I hunt. I'm one of the guys that you guys absolutely love because I hunt during the winter time. So that early morning in the marsh and you look up and there's not a light around for miles and there's stars everywhere. And like you said, you can see them, but I couldn't imagine where there's not a light pollution for hundreds of miles.
It's freaking wild. And shooting stars just nonstop, man. It was just like, it's great. And I was so exhausted. I was laying next to the fire and I remember I was like holding my eyes open to like absorb as much of it as I could because I was freaking smoked. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was just like, oh, remember this.
Oh, geez. Well,
Yeah.
if you guys got any more questions out there, definitely throw them out here. It's been
probably learned nothing about bass fishing, but
that's the greatest thing about this live stream is we talk about whatever the heck we want to talk about.
Right.
We always have this like long, both of us have sheets in front of us of like questions just in case we get stuck. And at the end of the night, like when we do our recap after we go off live, it's like we didn't talk about anything on our sheet.
It kind of naturally
we just
happens.
roll. So
I got a grizzly bear story for you, man.
What do you got?
Me and my wife went to I think I've mentioned this before on here, but it's been a while. But we went to Glacier National Park, which is another really cool place to go, Montana. And we wanted to see a grizzly bear, right? So we drive up. We actually had to go around because there was a wildfire on the west side, which is where we got lodging at. So we had to drive all the way around to the east side, like 2.5 hour drive. We get up there, we get in the parking lot, we start hiking, and this is like in the fall. It's kind of, it's not peak season. This is like late September, so there's not a lot of people there. All the kids are back in school. It's kind of halfway quiet, and we're walking down this trail, and we see these people standing down by this lake. So we walk down the little trail down to the lake, and they're all watching this big old grizzly bear. She's on the other side of the lake, and there's a river that flows down through the bottom of the lake, and she starts getting out in the water, playing in the water. So we watch for a while, and then we get back on the trail, and we start walking away from the lake. And right as we're leaving, I forgot to tell you, they said the park ranger had said that there's a mama bear that's in the area that had lost her cub. Oh. And they were assuming that that's the mama grizzly right there. So she's basically, the worst thing that can happen is you come between a mama bear and her cub, right?
Yeah.
So we never saw a cub or anything, but we're walking, and we're by ourselves, and we're about a half a mile from the lake where we saw the bear. And all of a sudden, this little grizzly bear runs across the trail and up the hill from us, and we just stop, and it stops about 35 yards up in the woods, and we're like, holy crap. So we come to that point where we're like, you want to keep going, or you want to go back? She's kind of freaked out, and we decide.
Now keep in mind, Gabe's a mailman, so he's used to Chihuahuas attacking him, so he's calm, cool, and collective right now.
Ready.
No, I wasn't, man. I was nervous because we're out there, there wasn't hardly anybody around, and we didn't even have bear spray. We were trying to save our $65 and not get bear spray. I think we had a little jingle bell or something, maybe. I don't know what we had, but
was that a dinner bell?
Yeah, I can't remember if we saw that little bear again. But bottom line is, the cub was right here, the mama was right here, and we were right in the middle, and the wind was blowing just a little bit. So we were nervous. We were kind of starting to get nervous.
Heck yeah, I would be too.
So I can't remember if we saw that bear again, but anyway, we started walking back towards the cars. My wife's like, let's get out of here. I wanted to see a bear. We've already seen 2 bear, and we haven't even been hiking for like an hour. So we started walking back down towards the vehicle, and we come to that little trailhead that splits down by the lake. And I'm like, we need to go tell these people that are down there that we just saw the cub, the mom's down there, and they need to get the hell out of here. So I'm walking down the hill towards the lake, and it's all bushy. You can't really see everything. You got it really close before it opens up. And I'm looking for, I think people have like probably an orange coat or blue coat, something that's kind of visible that you could see through the underbrush. And I can't see anything. I'm looking, and we get closer and closer to the lake. And all of a sudden, here's this figure, this big, huge figure. It's like it blocks the sun, and it's that grizzly bear. It had crossed the lake, across the river, and it was on our side of the lake, and it was literally like 20 yards from me, and it was coming through the brush, but its back was, I'm like 6'2", and it seems like its back was probably up to my forehead.
Oh my God.
And we just froze, and I pull out my camera, I pull out my phone. I'm trying to record, take pictures, and Crystal's like, let's get the hell out of here. So I'm backing up. I got kind of a blurry picture of something that kind of see it, but yeah, those things are huge, man. You're talking about the one that was 17 foot tall. It's a crazy big animal. We're getting some feedback, man. On your end. We got that loop going.
Yeah, that's me. Shit. Guys still there?
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds better now.
Sorry, I screwed up the story.
No, you're good.
I was dying. I think that's
dropped in the live well, it sounds like.
I think it's the aliens from Homer, Alaska found you.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Oh, he's out.
He'll probably jump back in here in a little bit.
Yeah. It's almost that time to get out of here anyway.
It is. Well, it's been a lot of fun. Stories. We got Sasquatch stories. We got alien stories. Grizzly bear stories.
I'm sorry about Stephanie. This is obviously it's not Stephanie. It's somebody hacked into your account. So we're well aware of that.
Hopefully we get everything back right.
Yeah, no big deal. Anyway, we'll wrap this up, man. Thanks to everybody for hanging out with us. BTC's on here. We'll jump back in real quick.
Hey,
what's up, bro? Aliens get you?
My phone was about to peace out. So I think that was the warning sign. I had 1%.
I got you.
I had to get plugged in.
Let's see here.
You got all kinds of lights in that garage.
Yeah. It's a work in progress.
It's the party place, isn't it?
I got a lot to do yet. So, all right, man. I ruined the bear story.
I'm alive. We survived. It was just scary being face to face with a grizzly bear. Like, you don't realize how big they are until you're standing like 20 yards away from them.
How big?
Well, we were like 20 yards away, and it was like I'm 6'2", and its back was, eyesight. Its back was 6 foot tall. It's a huge animal. I mean, we would have just been a little snack for that bear.
Well, you're faster than your wife, right?
Oh yeah. That's number one rule, man. You always want to be faster than the other person, or trip them on the way out, one or the other.
Somebody would have been a snack, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Yeah, it's scary though, man. It's a big animal.
Gonna miss her.
It's like twice. Yeah, she was good and she was nice. It's like the second time
It was
I've
a
ever
good
had
run.
that. Yeah,
it's a good run.
I've ever had that fear, that death fear that goes through you. That's the second time that's ever happened.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What was the first? The Chihuahua. That's right.
No. No, the first one.
We talked about that. I'm sorry.
The first one was when my 2-year-old jumped off the bed and hit her head on the dresser, and I saw it.
God.
Yeah, she was fine, but
I know.
Yeah, I had that fear, that whatever you call it, it went through me.
Yeah, I understand, bud. That's a rough one.
Yeah. I know we kind of got sidetracked. We
were supposed to talk about John boats.
We talked about John boats.
It was
a little bit about John boats.
It was like a little bit
John
of it.
boats.
Oh, I thought this was about John boats. What's happening?
We're talking about like bright lights in Homer, Alaska.
That's right.
Yeah.
South Jersey fishermen wanted to know what's the best baits to use around the moss.
Yeah.
That moss is called Black Death, homie. Dude, you guys don't even understand. Do you have that out there?
Oh yeah.
I would think. I had a feeling. I had a feeling
on the bottom.
Illinois would have that stuff.
Yeah, it's on the bottom.
Okay, and it's like just black hair, like
snot, stinks.
Yeah. I mean, some of these lakes around here get so choked with it, you can't even throw a weightless Senko in the summertime and not come back with shit hanging off your. Dude, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm out. So yeah, I don't know about you, bro.
It's in pockets. Like it'll be in like one little area of a lake, and then
around here at least.
And then you go around the corner, and you may fish the next point, and there not be any of it out there. But you may hit 3 in a row that is right there. But then it could be at 8 or 9 feet, and then you get down to 10 or 12, and it's gone.
Yeah.
So that's what I found a lot. It just depends on what the bottom composition is, or how far out the grass line died off that fall.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, some of these ponds we don't have all those things you talked about.
Logan's getting pissed at you. You're like in his bedroom. Is his bedroom next door?
He's got tuba practice.
Huh?
Logan said he's got tuba practice in the morning.
That's my kid.
He said, "Go to bed, Dad. I got tuba practice in the morning."
What the frig? Dad, go to bed. I have tuba practice in the morning. How about that? Good.
No, I was just gonna say about John boats, man. Like 2 key things I think with a John boat is don't go wood.
Yep.
Don't go wood. Go aluminum. Save your money and buy aluminum.
100%.
A lot of reasons. And then
because you're going to save money in the long run. Like you're going to do aluminum once, you're going to do wood 30 times.
Yep.
Yeah. And wood will absorb water. Aluminum's lighter right off the bat.
Yep.
It's just more sturdy. And then also the other thing is go with the widest boat you can get.
Yep.
Like my first boat that I had was like a 1442.
Yep.
And my boat now is a 1650. You got a 1654,
54,
right?
Yep.
Yeah. But in my opinion, you don't want something that's narrow. If you can't find a boat that's like at least a 48 or a 50 or 52, 54, I would just keep on shopping, keep on waiting for that to come up. Even if you get a really good deal on a narrow boat, it's not worth it in my opinion.
No stability.
No stability.
No.
I think that's the biggest thing that I see mistakes with all these John boat building sites out there, whether it's on Facebook or wherever. These guys try to build a John boat with a 1028 or 1030 John boat, 30 inches wide across the bottom, and then put a deck all the way up to the top of it. It's going to work, but you're also going to step one time and you're going to be in the lake.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys this. So I've seen guys where they deck out the entire boat, right?
Like front to back.
Yeah, front to back.
Yep.
And I think that's the most, personally, I think that's absolute trash, right?
Yep.
I think it's a horrible, and I would even say my boat has too much deck. In retrospect, oh shit, I shouldn't have unplugged that. We're about to go get invaded by the aliens again. Like my boat, I question, the amount of like center space, right?
Yeah, right.
Because you get in your boat and you got a buddy that jumps in your boat. He's got a tackle bag. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Yeah, all right. All right, so you get a buddy that jumps in and he's got a tackle bag, so he's going to just throw the tackle bag down there, and you're going to have stuff. So much stuff ends up in that bottom, and then what happens when you go to boat flip a fish? You want that fish down there, right? Not up here on the deck, not flopping around up there. You want to boat flip them down there. So I would, I don't know where I would cut back, but to have more of that. The guys that don't leave any of that center section, that's junk, man. Leave yourself plenty down there. Whose boat? I was just in somebody's boat that had like a lot of space in the middle, and it was just so much better, dude. Just jump in the boat, throw your stuff down there. It was never crowded. You don't need all that much space to stand on a fish. You know what I mean? Honestly. So
I left mine basically, I think there's 4.5, 5 feet of space
Open
on mine on the floor. But mine, one reason obviously for when a guy, like you said, when somebody jumps in, a buddy jumps in, they're going to throw their crap in the bottom of your boat.
Yep.
And I don't have a built-in live well. I have a cooler.
Right.
That's my live well. So I can take it in and out, which is great because a lot of times you're fishing by yourself. I don't want to have to deal with taking the live well, or I didn't want to drill holes in the side of a boat that's not leaking anyway. So, hey, there we go. That's even better.
Right.
But with that being said, I got 2 little kids. I can throw them in the bottom of the boat and they can play, and I don't have to worry about either one of them falling out. Like, flipping off the side of the boat, not kicking rods off, whatever. They're down the bottom. They can play if they don't want to fish. So that works out really, really well for me. That's my personal opinion. I'm in your camp. I like the open floor plan, if you will, of a boat.
Yeah.
Versus the full deck. And let's be honest, when we're building these boats, you can have too much storage. I promise you. Because the more places that you have to put stuff, the more stuff you're going to put in the boat.
Yeah, you're going to fill it up.
Yep. Every single time. I got 6 hatches on my front deck, and they are literally everything's got a home. Now it may be clothes, it may be tackle, it may be, bump boards and stuff like that, but there's a spot for everything.
Yeah.
But it's the great thing about these 10 boats is they're all works in progress, right? You can do whatever you want to them. So.
Yeah, no, I think leaving more open. And here's an idea. Right. So if you look at the boat, the way it's set up, right? I got the vertical, wall going on there, right? And that's a ton of front deck, dude. That's a lot. If that front deck was shorter and this was open, I could just have totes, right? I could have a tote, drop all my stuff in it and slide it up under.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like
pull the tote out because I'm not fishing that lake, set your tackle up and slide a new tote up and under there.
Yep.
I wouldn't sacrifice the radio, the cooler, or especially the switch panel.
For sure.
But
The one thing that I would have changed on mine, because mine's set up very similar to yours. So you got front deck, bottom deck, or floor, if you will. Let me see if I can get right here with the camera. I would have put a step there. That's the only thing that I would have done different. Just for the simple fact that it's probably knee high to step up, and you put all your clothes on and a big pair of boots in the wintertime, and you catch that front lip with your boot, and I'm gonna eat it. Face plant on the front deck.
So you're trying to put an escalator in?
Yeah, an escalator, but in that escalator,
The little chair on
it would be insulated for a cooler.
Okay. All right. I'm with that.
So that's kind of my idea. Now in my old boat, the last build that I had rod lockers, and that was in a 1540. So I had
rod lockers in a 1540.
Yeah, I had them on both sides. I could put 15 rods under deck in there, 7.5 foot rods
Under deck.
under the deck. I still have that boat. Yeah.
All right. So when did that benefit you? All right.
Going to the lake and then if you had 10 or 15 rods with you, you could only have 2 or 3 out. So you weren't tripping over them.
Let me show you what this does, because I didn't set this up right. You guys got me here?
Yeah, we're good.
So I'm gonna do like this. Now, let me plug back in just in case. I don't want the aliens to come back.
We don't want it. We've had enough aliens tonight.
Yeah. No probe. Hopefully that's still charging. Give me a second. So I got this thing set up, right? I got strap right here. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got that on both sides in the back and then up front. And like when I travel, I got all my rods strapped on the deck.
Yeah. So you could strap rods front on both sides and then back on both sides, I guess.
Yeah. I'll have 4 or 5 rods on either side there. I got
You have those straps on both sides in the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good
So
idea.
I got a micro anchor pole back here right now, but then I got rods strapped in right here. Like I said, on both sides. So I could have like 4 rods there, and there, 16, 20 rods, all strapped back, and they ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Know what I mean?
Got you, man.
I get you.
Yeah, and your little speaker boxes are. Is there anything in those, like where your side speakers are at? Is that hollow in there? Is it got foam in there or what?
Say again?
Where your speakers are at in the side of the boat there? Is that hollow in there? Or is there foam in there or what?
It's foam, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, the foam's still up both gunnels.
Okay.
Did you put that in there or was that in there?
That was in there.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, I got one thing to show you. So proud of this. Very proud moment here. No, you guys probably seen it before.
It's a proud dad moment right here, I can tell. Dude.
Is that your bump board? What is that? Nice.
That's legit.
See that?
Yeah, I like that. Bash U bump board. You guys sell those?
What's that?
Those Bash U bump boards?
No, that's the only one I've ever seen. I saw it like just laying around somewhere, and I was like, hey, yeah, that's mine.
You stole it.
I did, absolutely.
I love it. Is that on the back deck or the front deck? Does that go into the back or the front?
That goes in the back. So, like, 2 things that were late additions to the boat, the cooler was certainly there. And the original setup that I had for the boat had all the batteries in the back because I didn't know any better. I was building it like a bass boat where you have all that weight in the back. And then, Jeff Little from Torquedo, I met him. He brought the motor and kind of told me how, like, this isn't a boat that's going to plane. This is, you want this boat flat. And, if the way I had it set up with all the weight in the back, you could put like, a styrofoam cup in the water and it would follow us all around the lake. You know what I mean? And that's mad drag. And I listened to him and, change the boat build like midway and put all the batteries, all those other batteries. The Torquedo battery still remains in the back, live wells in the back, but the other batteries are in the middle of the boat. And I can attest that, like, I could be going across the lake with that motor running. I'll get up and stand and hang 10 off the front deck and get that nose down. But really, I'm plowing water in the front, but I'm getting that ass up. You know what I mean? Get that ass up. And I pick up speed, man. That water just releases off the back. That ass is up.
Yeah.
The water releases off the back. And the boat, the Torquedo's got a built-in hemostat. What do you call it? Thermometer.
So it doesn't overheat.
GPS.
Face down.
Face down. That's right.
Face down, booty up.
That's right. Hold on.
Late night with.
BTC.
So yeah, but the boat gets faster. You know what I mean? I pick up miles an hour by getting that water just releasing off the back. So
We'll get your prop
makes a big
higher
difference,
in water
man.
too.
Big difference.
Where'd you get that chicken at?
You guys still there? We go back to aliens.
Yeah, I'm wondering about the chicken. I was just thinking, I'm like, where'd you come up? Where's the chicken from? Is that a
Aliens?
gift?
You there? He is the producer of Bass
lost
U.
you. Hang tight.
All right.
I can hear you.
Still at 1%.
I think he's just avoiding the chicken.
He is. He is.
Why can't I hear nothing? Shit.
He's gone.
He's gone. This is fun. You know what we should do?
What's your favorite boozing beer?
Boozing beer? Bush Light?
Bush Light.
Latte?
Bud Ice.
Bud Ice. I haven't heard Bud Ice in a while.
Yeah, I just like an IPA. I don't drink a whole lot.
You know what would be cool if we got back in here and did like my house, your house, and BTC's house?
Compare boat builds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
That'd be
He's
really
just
cool.
back in here.
We could do that. You don't have internet at your house, though.
I got decent internet. Like I could probably do that from my house.
Can you hear me now?
I fended off the aliens.
Good.
You got your. I don't see your armadillo hat on.
Oh, there it is.
No, the armadillo hat. So you keep the aliens
No,
from
he's
frying your
it's tin
brainwaves.
foil, man. You got to wrap your sock cap in tin foil. Where'd you get that chicken at, man? Where's the chicken on your boat? Where'd that come from?
The chicken?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just, felt right.
Okay, gotcha. Fair enough.
One of them things that comes down the road and you're like, yeah, that.
I'm kind of looking. I'm thinking I'm gonna probably make an upgrade. I'm thinking. I like that idea.
I'm gonna put it right on my
I
tiller.
got a Christmas
Every
around here.
Every
somewhere.
time I throttle up, it's gonna go.
When you throttle up on your trailer.
Oh, that's
Good
funny.
stuff.
That's funny. No, we were just talking while you were fending off the aliens that we should do a part 2 of this where we each are in our respected garages and showing off all of our builds.
Hell, this volume sucks. What happened?
Can you hear me?
I could sort of hear you. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I was saying what we should do is part 2, and like I'll be in my garage, he's in his garage, and we just do our show off our builds and how we did our
Compare a build.
Yeah,
Compare a build. It's got a nice ring to it.
So we're measuring them. Is what you're saying?
exactly. Whose deck is bigger?
What would I do different on the next one?
Yeah, what would you do different on the next one?
Well, I mean, lithium batteries would be nice, but that's just a button thing. That's not
You
like
can do that today with your build, though.
Correct. Yeah, like I said, probably more center space, more light in the middle, right? So at nighttime, I've got light in all my compartments, and the first thing I realized fishing at night, and I've got the red lights on the deck. Do a little research if you're going to put some ambient light, some mood light. You know what I mean? You're trying to set the tone. Like green and blue lights are really bad for mosquitoes. Red was like the best color, so that's why I went with red. Plus, red's cool. But I had no light for the center section down there. And if you're night fishing, you got to tie something on, you got to fish on. I had no light. Everything was dark. So that's why I put the light in the glove box, dropped the door. I got some light, but I would put more light down there for nighttime. What else? Really?
Hold on. We got a hater. Keegan says, why don't you guys measure up to my Z9 deck? And he said he didn't think so. 3 gallons. I can fish for 2 days. Word?
Yeah. 3-gallon gas tank.
Yeah, 3 gallons
for 2 days. That's a nice thing about. Well, you're running.
I think Brian can fish on 0 gallons for multiple.
Dude, his name's Keegan. I wouldn't even.
Easy.
Like I wouldn't even put my head out of the.
Easy. My son's name's Keegan.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
That's okay.
My buddy's son's named Keegan too. So, so yeah, it was a poor choice. Let me reformulate my attack. Hold on a second.
His last name's Barber. I mean, who needs a barber around here? I mean,
it's a barber.
I'm as bald as it gets. So
yeah, that is a nice thing about the little books, though.
Yeah, for sure. That's if you had an opportunity to have both, obviously it's great. But the little boats, I mean, the money savings is huge.
Is that what this is? He's talking shit on little boats. That's what Keegs is doing.
I don't think he's talking shit on. I just think he's making a comment about whose deck is bigger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's saying he had a bigger deck because he's got a glass boat.
Oh, he's got a nitro. I mean,
somebody else said, "LOL, it's a Z9." So.
Hey, I agree. Hey, it is nice. We can fish. Most of our lakes around here, Keegan, are about less than 3,000 acres. A lot of them are like 1,000, and we can get around pretty good on our John boats.
You know, I'll tell you what.
Summertime.
I will put my boat. And honestly, do you want to be on Lake of the Ozarks in July in any boat? No, you don't, unless it's a 44-foot cigarette boat. But it's definitely. I don't have any fear in my 1654 going anywhere. I'll take it on any lake and run wherever I want to run in pretty much any condition. I mean, I'm sure you would too.
Yeah,
I've never taken one over the front. Knock on wood.
Yeah,
and I've been in some
in the middle of the
stuff.
summertime on some of these lakes. I don't want to be out there when the big pleasure boaters out there. But you can still.
But you don't want to be out there in your glass boat either.
No, well, it just takes longer.
Yeah.
I mean, my glass boat, I'm going 60 if I want to. My John boat, I'm going 20.
Right.
It just takes a while, but you can still fish fine on these public bodies of water out of the aluminum boat.
Uncle Joey will be proud. He wanted you to take a shot a while ago.
Who wants a shot? Uncle Joe?
Uncle Joey.
Uncle
This
Joey.
one's for Uncle Joey.
It's for Uncle Joey.
Yeah. Here.
So good. So damn good.
Yeah, we did have some trolls tonight.
And it comes with a tin cup.
That's right. It does. That way you never have to worry about finding a cup.
Nah, and then you can like flip into the cup. I had a board set up with to hold the cups to flip in. You know, that was like one of my first COVID projects.
What else you got? Anything?
That's it. I think we're all caught up, man.
Trolls.
Yeah, just a bunch of trolls on here. That's fun. That's been exciting. It's the first time that's ever happened. So what do you got going on, man? You got any tournaments coming up or anything?
I'm hoping to get out tomorrow. But no, I got shoulder surgery coming in a week from tomorrow.
Oh shit!
I've been putting off for 8 years, way too long. So I'm going to be down and out for a while. So
Man, bummer.
Yeah, that's
what's that, like 12 weeks maybe?
I have no idea, man. They said like 6 to 10 week I have no idea. I don't know.
We'll Is it from work, I assume?
What's that?
Work from work?
Yeah. I think some of it might be hereditary too, but yeah, it's been bad for a long time. Like I fished on Saturday and I was just like, you know, I'm flipping and my arm, my shoulder's so fucked up that I'm like, I'm not throwing my arm out there. I'm just like trying to do like this.
Oh, yeah.
And wondering why I'm backlashing everyone, you know, and I'm like, dude, you know, get your arm fixed, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I suck, but I don't suck that bad. It's you know, I'm compromised. That's why I suck. That's so.
You'll be better. I mean, once you 3 months from now, you'll be glad you did it.
Yeah. Well, that's what I hear. It might take a year before I'm glad, but either way, it's got to happen because I'm going to be worthless if I don't. So I put it off way too long. But other than that, yeah, that's what I got going on. And so I'm available. Jesus. Available for podcast, not too much casting.
Squeezing the choking the chicken.
You can still choke the chicken.
They got squeeze me chicken here. Yeah.
Is it right or left hand, or right arm or left arm?
We're going to do the right arm first. They're actually going to get my shoulder and my carpal tunnel done at the same time for my wrist because my carpal tunnel is terrible. So I get that. We're going to do that at the same time, and then I don't know. Maybe a year down the line, we'll do the next one.
Okay.
We'll see.
I know your pain though, man. I'm the same way. It's usually about mid-October, punching mats, and that, you know, this is my good hand. That's all you get is that little flip right here because you can't extend it out because your shoulder hurts so damn bad.
Yeah.
You can't turn the heat or the air on in the car because you can't reach up there. Yeah, I get it 100%.
Yep.
So
yep.
I've just been milking mine with chiropractic care for 3 years. So
you've been doing what?
Chiropractic care
for your shoulder?
Yeah, 100%.
What kind of food is he doing? Like some Miyagi stuff? Yeah, like
Reiki, man. Reiki. A little heat.
Yeah.
There it is.
Is it working?
It does. It 100% works. Like there's one that they do like a lidocaine injection, which lidocaine is 98% saline or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't fact check me on this. I'm not a doctor.
Nobody's fact checking.
But they're on the back side of my shoulder, under my shoulder blade. I have like, it's called knots. They're like knots in your muscle tissue or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll inject those, and literally within 5 minutes, all the pain is gone. Shoulders kind of back into place. It's crazy.
They inject the knots with the lidocaine?
Yep.
So
like directly into the hot spot.
Okay.
I get that done probably 3 or 4 times a year. It's something that is you can continuously do. It's not like a cortisone injection. It's not into a joint. Because if you know anything about chiropractic care, they don't believe in surgery. They don't believe in, injecting you with a bunch of drugs. They want to get you like holistically repaired, which is great. But I've also had back surgery at 23, so I'm on both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But the screwed up shoulder, I mean, he adjusts it once a month, gets it moving and mobile. So, but a lot of it's from fishing. A lot of it, I drive every day for my job, so I'm a traveling salesman. So, you sit in the car all day long with a hand on the wheel, or however, you're in a terrible position all day long. So,
yeah.
Not as bad as tearing it up being a carpenter, though. I can tell you that.
Not even close. But I'm also a lot older. Fucking, you know what? And honestly, he said like it's a hereditary thing too. Oh shit! I almost forgot, dude. Guys, new sponsor for tonight's show. Boost Oxygen, everybody.
Boost Oxygen.
That's right. You think it's free? You think you can just go out there and breathe air? No. $13 at Lowe's, right there by the register. Actually, I don't know how much it was.
At Lowe's.
Oxygen.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
What? So one more question from South Jersey. He says, what's your most successful technique on the Delaware back channels?
On the Delaware back channels? So I would imagine he's, alluding to Delaware River tidal, tributaries and such. Generally small baits on the Delaware. Tidal water, generally smaller baits than other places. Hang tight. I'll show you. It was the Ned rig that I was throwing before I knew there was a Ned rig.
Yeah, Stephanie, I apologize about that. That's the first time anything like this has ever happened. I don't know where that person came from. Hopefully they'll never be back. But I will work on like a sign-in or asking if somebody would be a moderator. Try to get that lined out. Usually we catch that stuff. I mean, it's actually the second time it's ever happened.
Right.
But that's the first time it was ever like a name was actually hijacked. I don't know how that goes.
I don't know how that. I'm not a.
Hang on. Stupidest looking little crawl.
So what is
3-inch cross isn't the color, but
okay, it's like a little Ned crawl.
Yeah, man. So this was before, I'm not saying it's before Ned rig, but it was certainly a long time before I knew of a Ned rig. But throwing this little 3-inch crawl on and the way I still throw it is on a flick shake head.
Really?
I was trying to find one rigged laying around here, but basically a flick shake head is just, a real light wire. It's a tungsten head with a real light wire hook and just a wire weed guard. And that deal there, 6-pound line, dude, you got to throw it on 6 because it has that glide. Unlike, there's a lot of, I say, myth about Ned rigging where it's like, Z-Man's got to be on the bottom with the ass up. I think a lot of it is also about, and that certainly may be true on some fisheries, but I think a lot of the deal with a Ned rig is just that real lightweight and that glide, that little light bait just kind of sliding through the water. And that was the deal with this, man. Eek.
So that flick shake, that's wacky. You wacky rigging that, or you?
No, not wacky rigging it, but I was threading that because that was just the right hook to use for it. The only thing not right about it is the ability to, not slide. So a dab of super glue right there, and that white light wire hook runs through there, and then that just single wire weed guard on it.
Yeah.
On that itchy wacky head, and that little 3-inch Molicky. That's a Molex Kaleo crawl 3-inch Molicky.
Let me see that package. For the folks at home.
I don't think they sell them in the Merc anymore, but
yeah. Okay.
But that one in this color called Blue Knot. I didn't make that up, folks. Blue Knot. It's a black with this like just the right amount of blue underbelly to it. It's freaking perfect, man. It's beautiful.
6-pound test though. That's key, huh?
Pardon?
6-pound test is key though.
Yeah, man, because you just need that to get that bait to slide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to glide through the water. For sure. JB.
Yeah.
That's not the right color shirt to wear with that background, bud.
I'm sorry.
I mean, all show long, you just like.
Do I just blend in?
You're just you blend, dude. That and your beard, you're like one with the wall.
See, I'm just trying to be incognito. I'm trying to go camouflage.
You that cognito, bro.
Good.
So you need a darker color.
I need a dark color. Well, I appreciate
you're just a floating hat from where
I appreciate the heads up.
He's a big head, just kind of floating.
He's just a floating hat.
I love it. I love it.
That's funny.
See you up there?
Yeah. Yeah, that's got a little bit of the Guido bug kind of look. So
my man with the Guido bug.
Yeah.
Guido bug was the bomb, man. And it's like that, man. It's just stupid. It's just like straight with some jazz hands. There's nothing to it. There's no action. It literally does nothing. Just like, oh, don't matter.
So you were Nedding before Nedding was cool.
I mean, I ain't trying to be like that, but yeah, that was the deal.
I think a lot of us were Nedding before Nedding was cool, though. I mean, we fished small little rivers and streams back when we were kids, just tromping around. We didn't know what we were doing. We were just, you had a hook and you put something on it and you caught fish on it. You didn't really care what it was called.
Nope.
Yeah, Stephanie, those are made by Molex.
Discontinued, you said, right?
Discontinued?
They might be, man. I don't know if you can still get them here, but honestly, like, dude, it's just a 3-inch crawl.
Yeah.
There's a ton of baits out there like that. I mean, they're not Molex, but they're. I don't know how much difference there can be in a bait besides salt content or anything like that, but
nah,
that bait's not doing anything. It's literally laying there on the bottom, and you have to impart all the action to it.
Yeah. And honestly, like you said, it's not doing anything. I think the two biggest keys were the weight and the rate of fall of the bait, perhaps the profile, and the color. Like, and this isn't the color. The color's, it's a black blue. It's basically black, which is this blue hue to it, which for the Delaware River, blue is key. There's your tip, buddy. Blue is key.
Is that because of the blue crabs out there? Or?
Maybe. I couldn't say exactly why, but blue is key.
Okay.
Yep. Faux show.
Yeah, Mike, he doesn't have any of the heads. He was just talking about basically what do you say? What'd you say? Would you rig that up on BTC? What kind of head?
Flick shake head.
Flick shake
like
head.
an itchy wacky head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a flick shake head. But really the key is like light, if you're going to put it on a net head, you can throw it on a net. Just throw it on a 10th. I wouldn't go any higher than a 10th. No way.
Yep. Thin wire hook. Ultra finesse.
Yep. Light wire, 10th ounce. And that itchy wacky, like most Neds don't have a wire guard with a good, like that itchy wacky. It's just like nice and finesse with enough wire guard to get you out of a handful of snags without being egregious, because you can't stack them with 6-pound line.
Yeah, and you got to know how to fish that stuff too. Like I fished like a VMC. It's the weedless Nico hook, the VMC weedless Nico hook. I love that a lot, but it's only got like 2 little nylon fibers on it. It's not a lot, but it's just enough that if you kind of learn how to fish it, how to kind of pull it through stuff, you can get it in and out of snags pretty good. It's pretty snag resistant once you figure out kind of how to pull it out of there and kind of shake. I always just kind of shake it. Like as I'm pulling it, I kind of shake it. And it seems like it comes right through laydowns and stuff. But it's like anything else. You got to kind of learn how to fish it.
Even a flick shake without a weed guard is actually fairly weedless.
Yeah, because your points, the hook points up.
Hook points up, and the line is kind of protecting a lot of that. So as long as it doesn't roll on you.
True.
Yep. Good old Harry.
Harry says Ned rig equals small fish.
Yeah.
Harry's. Knock it off, Harry.
Knock it off, Harry. Yeah.
Come on. It's not true, man.
Little baits, big fish, especially smallmouth, man. You go up north.
I've caught 5s on this thing, and 5s are giants around here. There's times where 5's the biggest fish in the lake, some of these ponds, and they're eating this thing. So, Do what you do, Harry.
Well, and sometimes you got to get paid too, right? You got to put five. You got to get paid. You got to put 5 in the box too. So, and you're going to get a hell of a lot more bites with that than you are a
that glide
10-inch glide bait.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, facts. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's wrap this up, man. It's getting late in your neck of the woods. Yep. The chicken has spoken. I appreciate you taking time, man. It was good hanging out with you.
Yeah, man. Dude, it's crazy. Like I saw you, I'm like, I know that dude. That dude is
the floating head in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, the floating head guy.
It's great, dude. Like the mustache. See how the background on the wall has
it's like
it's
like
dark
perfect.
line,
I never
light
realized
line.
that.
Like with my fucked up 50-year-old eyes, like the mustache lined up with that dark line, and then right across the eyes where you had your polarized on and your eyes are all white. That's right there in that light line. And you got some hair
yeah, I see it now, man.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's like
I'm don't smile.
I'm colorblind, so it doesn't. That doesn't. The hues don't mean anything to me. It
blends perfect.
But I see the like the darkness right here and the lightness right here, but other than that, that's all I got.
That's good stuff, man.
I love it.
That's
I love
funny.
it. I'm never wearing another shirt again. I'm just being the floating head over here.
No, you're gonna wear a shirt.
Well, yeah,
you really stand out if you come in here shirtless.
It'd be like glowing if I didn't wear a shirt.
So. All right, man. We're out of here.
Thanks, Brian. My volume cut out. The phone's like, yo, you get like 2% volume. Guys, thank you so much for having me on, man.
All right, man. Take care.
I love the small boat movement. Harry, throw Ned rig, knock it off. Steph, you're on our team. I know you are.
That's right. Later, man.
Thanks, guys.